What's that skunk smell in here first thing in the morning?
It's a skunk.
Yeah, somebody get hit by a skunk in the parking lot and just drag that sucker right in here?
Yeah, I mowed over one this morning in the caddy.
Got a skunk smell in here all of a sudden. Welcome, folks. MJ and the crew. Oh, did you bring your maps in?
Hey, Rox, I didn't bring a map home. I left it in the office. So,
Rox, did you bring your map in? Do you have your map? Where's
It's right there.
Oh, that's your map. All right. So the map that was given to you yesterday, Fester, that is in the office?
yeah.
Okay.
What's up with the maps?
Yeah, I mean, I can care
Remember,
less
wasn't
about
there a map song on Dora? Map.
Oh, yeah.
Dora the Explorer map song.
Hey, Fester, go to YouTube quickly.
Yes.
Map.
I'm the map, right? Something like that. Yeah, my kids, when they were little, I mean, Chloe grew up right in the heart of like Dora.
The Explorer.
Remember we did a parody song.
Yeah, you can't play that these days, I don't think.
Dora got deported.
Yeah, don't.
Yeah, Dora got deported. Yeah, so the map song, did you find it? All right, hang on a minute. I'm the map.
Was I imagining a map song?
No.
I know there was a song about.
Hey, and for the early listeners here on the MJ Morning Show, hang on. We'll explain the significance of the map. And you know what? It didn't hit me. You know, there's a whole backstory.
No.
I
don't know none of this.
Guys, there's a whole backstory to the map, which I'm about to reveal.
Okay.
And also for those early listeners that it's kind of like bookends here because this is now the beginning of the MJ Morning Show here on a Tuesday morning, and the whole map thing transpired in the last segment of the show yesterday.
So little did we know yesterday was a cliffhanger to today.
Well, of sorts. So first of all, the map song. My God, there's like a electronic squeal buzz in this thing.
There's a place you gotta go. I'm the one you need to know. I'm the map.
Oh, I remember this
yeah.
now.
The map. I'm the map. If there's a place you gotta get, I can get you there, I bet. I'm the map. 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 I'm the map.
Oh, God.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the
Oh,
map.
God.
I'm the map.
No.
I'm the map. I'm the map.
Leave it to Fester, by the way, to find the most awful interference-sounding
I like the hiss.
I have no
clip.
way. I have no way of previewing these guys. You understand that,
listen,
right?
You ought to know these things.
Listen, I have no way of previewing them.
You ought to know when I randomly ask you to find something on YouTube that you find a nice, clean version.
Listen, it has over 1 million views. Here's the backpack song.
The
Backpack.
They have all kinds of good
back.
stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Now this is quality.
Backpack. Yeah. Yeah. Oh,
I'm trying to think if these are less annoying than Baby Shark or more annoying than Baby Shark.
That's a very good question. Now, for you, Roxanne, your kids are the youngest in the room. Is Dora the Explorer still a thing, or has Dora been deported?
She's not been around in our house.
Okay.
I know
We're
her
not
brother.
Dora family.
Her brother had a good run.
Did he?
I think his name was. I
Diego.
forget his brother.
Whatever.
Diego. Yes.
Oh,
It was like a cousin.
or is that Carmen Diego? We're in the world.
No,
of Carmen
that's
Diego.
that's something
different?
totally.
Showing your
Carmen,
age.
where in the world is Carmen San Diego? That's something totally different. But Dora's cousin or brother was busted for carjacking.
Yeah,
Oh,
he
yeah.
joined a cartel.
Down in Hialeah.
Yeah, it was for the cartel.
so-
the money was going funneled back.
So-
The big backpack full of cash. It's really suspicious.
it was
The CJNG member.
that little speedboat went and picked up bales that got dropped off.
What do they call it, Froggy? A bunch of square groupers?
The square group.
Square grouper bales of marijuana that wash up or are floating in the Gulf or the Atlantic. Or
Got myself a square grouper.
Okay, so
Square
we're in
grouper.
business.
all of this because on MJ Mystery Merch yesterday,
Yes.
somebody generously,
Yes.
and we're grateful, they gave us 4 maps, one for each of us.
Right. So yesterday, and packages are still trickling in for MJ Mystery Merch. We kind of sort of, put the bit to a closer, but I see there's another box here.
Yeah, people won't stop.
So we got MJ got a dive map, a world map of diving locations.
Here's the deal.
Right?
So
Well,
a
you got-
package came with 4 tubes. And when I saw the tubes, I'm like, oh, geez, was another one of these these giant glitter bombs now?
The mother
So
load of glitter
these
bombs.
are big map tubes, long map tubes, with the plastic ends and the cardboard tubes. And there were 4 maps that were sent. One was the best dive locations around the world. Another one was best fishing spots around the world.
Yes.
Then there was the bucket list map.
Yes.
And then, Rox, which one do you have?
Well, I had bucket list, but
Oh, that's
I
yours.
think that
So,
that
bu-
maybe should be Fester's.
Right. And then, Fester, which one do you have?
I think it was like a map for kids.
Yeah,
or something like that.
or some map for kid, whatever it is. So 4 maps, and then I determined, well, the diving map's got to be for me because I'm a scuba diver. The fishing map's got to be for Froggy because he's a fisherman, and
That was some very powerful deduction.
I thank you. Oh, you being a wise ass
No,
already?
no.
She's pointing out the obvious.
Compliment.
All right. So, you're complimenting
Yeah.
my obvious skills. All right. Then there were 2 others: the bucket list map, and then some map for kids. And then
What did Fester get? Best barbecue spots?
No, so it dawned on me, you know what, this is very thoughtful. These maps were specifically intended for each of us. And then, I looked at the return
One of the more creative gifts we received.
I looked at the return address, and then it came from the Netherlands. And I'm like, wait a sec, Chloe's boyfriend is from the Netherlands, from college.
Really?
Yeah,
Is he a map maker?
I don't know, on again, off again. I don't know what the story is there. But anyway, and Chloe was in the Netherlands like 2 months ago or whatever, month and a half ago. And, well, guys, guess what?
Chloe sent the maps from her Netherlands trip.
Guess who paid for mystery merch here on the MJ Morning Show?
You did?
Yeah, technically, because it's my credit card. So
You sent us maps?
yes,
Thank you.
Technically, I did. So with the whole MJ Morning Show mystery merch and Chloe sending these maps from the Netherlands, I essentially paid for these. Well, I didn't essentially. I did.
You bought the maps.
I paid for these things, so I essentially sent mystery merch to myself and the rest of the crew.
Can't be cheap and a really nice map.
Yeah, so that's the breaking news here, is that Chloe actually sent the maps.
Wow.
And that the bucket list is for you, Fester, and then the one that you have is for Roxanne's kids.
Great. So what, did Chloe call you yesterday? Be like, Dad, I think the maps are the other way around.
Yes, well, she WhatsApp messaged me, hey, Dad, I think the bucket list is for Fester, and the other one's for Roxanne and her kids. So the whole thing came to fruition, or came to light, I should say, and turns out that...
How'd your kids become so thoughtful?
Yeah, I sent the damn gifts with my money, technically. How about that?
Let's not get too crazy. Julie never sent anything.
Just getting rolling, folks. So that is the map story. So, yeah, go ahead and swap with Roxanne. All right, 6:08, just getting rolling. It is a busy, busy Tuesday morning. Don't move. It's the MJ Morning Show, Q105. Pat's got traffic. We're back in a second. You got the MJ Morning Show. It's Q105, MJ and the crew. I don't know what's going on, but there's like another pile of like these school fight club stories. Didn't we have last week an item out of, what was it, Tallahassee? There was a teacher in Tallahassee that was in trouble for encouraging kids to slap the snot out of each other, like in the middle of class. Right? Remember that?
Yeah, that was last week.
That's what I'm saying. Last week, then there's like another pile of these like teacher fight club stories. I'm trying to figure out what the heck is going on here. Is this the one from last week?
Yeah, Angel Footman was the teacher's name.
I remember the name now.
Yeah.
23. Oh, yeah, because she's 23 years old. I'm like, my God, she like just graduated. She's probably been a teacher for like 3.5 minutes. Yeah. Middle school fight club. Florida teachers arrested for hosting student fights with strict rules. No screaming, no pulling hair. So she was arrested. What a whack job. And then here's another one. Texas. This is new. I saw this one. I think I saw it over the weekend. But Texas teacher fired for turning middle school classroom into a student fight ring. And then listen to this. She's 24 years old. Natalie Garcia was fired after encouraging students to fight in the classroom at Kimbrough Middle School in Mesquite, Texas.
Is this the one I read about where they actually moved the desks into a configuration to make it more like an arena for fights?
Well, that would be the smart move.
Did you say the name of the school is Kimbo? Like Kimbo Slice?
Yeah.
The greatest MMA boxer ever?
So
He's a street fighter.
no, this is Kimbrough.
Well, close.
Yeah, this is K-I-M. K-I-M, exactly. Hey, my name's Kimbrough. This is K-I-M-B-R-O-U-G-H. And yes, Roxanne, you'd be correct. They essentially made a fight ring in the classroom by moving desks around. So they created boundaries. All right, here's the story.
Have entrance music and like how all the pageantry that you'd see at like an MMA?
It's a very good question. So the sub is under investigation. This is a substitute teacher. The one up in Tallahassee, up in the Panhandle, I believe that might have been a full-time teacher. This is a sub. Man, does subbing suck so much that you got to come up with crap like this to entertain yourself to get through the day? Is that it? A substitute teacher under investigation after she allegedly turned her classroom into a cage match, encouraged students as young as 12 to fight each other. Natalie Garcia, 24 years old. So we have the 23-year-old, Footface? What was her name?
Footman.
Angel Footman up in Tallahassee. Then we got a 24-year-old, Natalie Garcia. She was immediately fired after the incident at Kimbrough Middle School. This happened last week. Shocking footage from... You got to understand this, that the kids all have cell phones. Yeah. They're going to roll video. It's not going to be contained. It is going to be posted on social media. What is wrong with these teachers? So the shocking footage came to light. It showed that the desks were pushed into a circle to create a fight ring while 12 and 13-year-old students busted each other in the face.
Should try to hire Michael Buffer.
Kids were, don't say the catchphrase.
Oh, never.
Is that guy still alive? Is he still?
Are you kidding me?
Is he still enforcing that
He
crap?
was at the last Jake Paul fight. Of course he's alive.
God, the whole let's get ready to,
Careful.
that whole thing when he goes, let's get ready to, he like sues people for using that phrase. So he has, the let's get ready to, he's got that whole thing trademarked. And do you remember what happened? Remember we had a night guy on 93 when we were on 93 doing mornings for years and years and years. We had a night guy that I think opened up his show or did something with the whole let's get ready to, and Michael Buffer's like attorneys called the station and demanded like $25,000 or else they were going to file a lawsuit for copyright infringement.
It's the mafia.
It was nuts. And they shook FLZ down for $25,000.
Yeah, they got it, right?
They got it. Oh, yeah. They wrote a check to Michael Buffer, the famous ring announcer with his little catchphrase. That whole thing. Let's get ready to, stumble, mumble, fumble, Dumbledore.
Okay, he owns every incarnation of it. Anything that even sounds like
anything
whatever.
umbly.
So he was threatened to sue, and they caved in. You know what I find, and I don't understand this. Every radio station I've worked for, they fold like cheap chairs in a bingo parlor. They do. They fold instead of saying bleep off, bleep you, sue us. They always fold. They always give in too easy to like demands.
25 grand is that sweet number where it's really not worth fighting.
Yeah, it's like, go away money.
I mean,
we'll spend more money with lawyers, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you got to say, hey, I'm not going to be taken advantage of. So anyway, where was I? Oh, so back to the fight club in the classroom. According to the Mesquite ISD, which is, I guess, ISD is typically what, independent school district? According to a statement from the Mesquite, Texas school district, her actions were appalling and intolerable. Wait a minute, a substitute teacher making a fight ring, and then students at 12 and 13 years old are bashing the crap out of each other, and they're walking away with bloody faces? That's intolerable? Okay, maybe. All right, so the school district also said that Garcia outlined rules for the children to follow and told one to keep watch at the door while the fights occurred.
Man, that's a crappy job. You can't watch the fights.
In what freaking world is a teacher or a substitute teacher in where they think they can have organized fight club fights inside a middle school classroom and that it wasn't going to be detected? There weren't going to be any problems, no backlash? What flippin' planet is this 24-year-old whacknut living on?
I mean, that's all like really organized fighting in class, but I do let my daughters fight. I mean, is that do you guys let your kids?
Oh, you don't have a fight club where the rules are no screaming.
You let your 5-year-old and 3-year-old fight and beat the crap out of each other?
This is what happens.
Pulling hair?
No, there's no hair pulling.
How about choking?
There's no choking.
How about face punching?
How about eye gouge?
There was a face punch last night. That's when I had to shut it down. But my
what?
My older daughter is she's a needler. Like, she's going to get on your nerves. She's just going to try to get under your skin.
Which one is this? The older
one? And she's got like...
Yeah, you got to watch her. That 5-year-old's trouble.
She's, she'll take toys away and she puts her feet on everybody. And I've named her feet Smacky and Wacky. Like, 'cause I'm like, do you have no control over your feet?
You've named the feet Smacky? Oh, and Wacky.
Yeah, I'm like, get your feet under control. She's always like, just putting her feet all over everybody.
She put her feet in your face?
If you're sitting on the couch, all of a sudden you have a foot in your face. You're like, get out of
Tell
here.
you what, man, you introduce her to wikifeet.com and put the
I'm
fear
telling
of
you
God
right
in
now.
right now.
What's your older one's name, the 5-year-old?
Evelyn.
Yeah, she's going to be in a women's prison. I'm telling you right now. She's going to be like in Orange is the New Black.
No, she has a strong moral compass, but she's just a huge pain in the butt. But anyways, she was like, she does stuff to her little sister. And so I tell Daviana, get her. Go get Sissy. And so the older one is scared of the little one.
Why don't you hire Angel Footman from Tallahassee as a nanny?
Yeah.
Why don't you bring her into the house?
And also hire Natalie Garcia from Mesquite, Texas.
One could work days, one could work nights.
Anyway,
those shifts covered.
The school district said that there was an outline for the fighting. In the video, Garcia, the substitute teacher, can be heard telling the class that she does not want this on record and threatened to confiscate cell phones if students had them out. Yeah, the clip shows at least 4 students fighting each other, and a timer can be heard going off at different points during the melee. And the teacher was shouting 30 seconds before each fight started.
Well, they got to have that bell ready.
My God.
Do we not have a boxing bell?
Video from the classroom shows at least 4 students fighting.
Wow.
In pairs of 2 with desks and chairs pushed aside. I'm devastated. I was like, I couldn't watch the whole video, said Beatriz Martinez, whose daughter recorded the incident, and said, I had to stop it multiple times because I didn't think it was real. This must be a prank. This is not real. There's no explanation. She just wanted those kids to fight.
I mean, the kids wanted to fight too. I mean,
Martinez said Garcia taught her daughter's class at least twice before, but there had been no previous incidents. What? So at one point, the substitute teacher shows up and just says, hey, I'm going to operate Fight Club today. You know what? I've had an epiphany. We're going to do Fight Club today in the class. This is crazy. Yeah, she said her daughter had been pushed to fight 3 different girls during the makeshift Fight Club.
Jeez, that's quite a night of fights.
But the class ended before that could happen. What, the bell went off? Is that what it was? What is that, a gas station thing that you rolled over?
No,
How much? I'm in a gallon, sir.
In 1974?
boxing bell sound effect.
Or you're in Jersey. Somebody comes out for you.
Yeah, so the Mesquite School District out in Texas said Garcia had been hired on March 6th, but she was fired after the incident. Oh, and by the way, she is not eligible for rehire.
Unfortunately,
Why isn't she charged? Why aren't they calling the Mesquite police to have her charged? Our investigation revealed that this substitute teacher encouraged students to fight each other during class, outlined rules for the students to follow, and even instructed a student to monitor the classroom door, according to the school district statement. As educators, our hearts are heavy knowing that an individual entrusted with the supervision and care of our students could behave in this manner, and we share the disgust that the families of students in the class must feel.
Yes.
Where's the police?
This story is going on so long, I'm actually on the teacher's side now.
Why aren't the police called? What is going on here? Why hasn't this teacher been arrested? Oh, no, she's not eligible for rehire. All right, well, hey, we'll bring you the next school fight club story, because if recent events are any indication, should be in a couple of days.
Another one will pop up.
Is what I'm thinking. That's not even morons in the news. Yeah, we'll get into that coming up in just a bit on a pretty packed up good Tuesday here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. All right, let's talk about your move, and of course, That can only mean one thing. It's time for the early Morons in the News here on the MJ Morning Show, 641. Thanks for joining me and Roxanne and Fester and Froggy. So what does the pile of morons in the news look like today? Well, it looks a little like this. Guy in Mississippi arrested for hiding a gun in a Taco Bell quesadilla. Now, is that the best Taco Bell menu item to hide a gun in?
I'm trying to think.
The bowl of nachos, you could probably hide a gun under the nachos and cover it in the cheese.
What about like a chalupa or something?
Too small.
Do they still sell the chalupa?
Yeah.
Because it just seems like every couple of weeks there's some story coming out that people are pissed off because some like Taco Bell menu favorite has been discontinued. Or
I haven't been to Taco Bell in probably a decade,
I haven't been there.
but I'll tear up their hard tacos.
No, you won't. The last time you were there 10 years ago?
I just haven't been. I mean, it's not one of my routes.
I do like the hard tacos. For me, Taco Bell happens like maybe once or twice a year. You know, I just get a craving.
Oh, let's get some today.
For like a 6-pack of hard tacos. Just and you know what? Those used to be cheap. Now they're expensive. You know that? You used to get those tacos for like 69 cents a piece or something. You know, you get like 10 of them. It was like $6.
I remember you had a craving back in the day. We were doing the show, and you sent some intern to buy like 50 of them for all of us to eat. You're like, I have a craving.
It was like $8.
Were you hungover?
I'll tell you what I remember. I remember that we were talking about the Taco Bell shredded cheese, and it comes in big giant bags.
Oh.
And I remember that the Taco Bell close to our old studio Is there still a Taco Bell in front of Britain Plaza?
I don't know.
I think there might be. There used to be an Arby's there. There used to be a Hardee's there, if I'm not mistaken. But I think there's still a Taco Bell in front of Britain Plaza on Southdale Mabry. And the manager heard us talking about it. This is years ago. And brought by like a 10-pound bag of bright yellow shredded cheese.
Great.
And we we're just grabbing handfuls of cheese like we're grabbing mulch. You know, it's
like we're laying mulch around a tree base.
That's a long time ago, man, but I remember that. All right, so here's the story. Guy in Mississippi was arrested on Friday, late last week, during a traffic stop after attempting to hide a gun in a quesadilla from Taco Bell. According to police, Devin P. Mitchell, he folded the gun into the quesadilla when police in Picayune stopped him. Isn't Picayune? Well, I guess that, yeah. So so the guy's from Mississippi, and I guess this happened in
Louisiana?
In Louisiana, yeah. So officers saw this guy stuffing the handgun into a Taco Bell bag, prompting them to then conduct a search of the vehicle, where they found the gun hidden in the quesadilla from Taco Bell.
Maybe that could inspire a new menu item like a Bang Bang quesadilla. It's like spicy.
Ooh, sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the new Bang Bang quesadilla from Taco Bell.
Oh, NBC New York is going with the guacamole.
Oh!
Yes, okay. Yes, I see you.
Oh,
I see that.
Glock. Or how about the Sig sour cream?
Perfect. Listen, it all works. It all works.
Oh,
The picture of the...
You want me to stop now?
I don't want you to stop.
So, Guy was then hit with additional charges. Police said they also recovered methamphetamine, liquid heroin. What the hell is liquid heroin?
Ooh.
And drug paraphernalia during the search. Yeah, dude was taken into custody, charged with possession of a controlled substance with intent to distribute, possession of a firearm, possession of a controlled substance, tampering with physical evidence, possession of a weapon by a felon, possession of paraphernalia.
So they got him on a bunch of charges.
Yes, they did.
Now, MG, can he get all this melty cheese out of his gun with a good cleaning?
You know, I would think that some of that CLP stuff would probably get the melted cheese. Right out of there. You need some gauze. You know,
Maybe Q-tip.
You know, there's a chance maybe the trigger mechanism could be fouled up. You might have to take it to a gunsmith.
Might have a little tomato in there.
Yep.
Gunsmith pulls out a big block of cheese. Yep, here's your problem right here.
Yeah. Also, they were pulling this guy over just for like a traffic violation, which again, if you are like a felon in possession of a gun, if you have all kinds of drugs in your car, shouldn't you drive extra carefully?
Mm-hmm.
Shouldn't you not arouse suspicion of the police by committing traffic infractions while driving? You know, it's like, idiots are smuggling like $2 million worth of drugs on I-95, and they've got like a busted taillight. You know, I mean, what kind of schmuck on wheels, quite literally, do you have to be?
You don't walk around the car and just check all the brakes before you go on your trip?
Just
Give
absolutely
it a once-over, like you're returning a rental.
Yeah.
I told you I had to drive on a suspended license like one time, and you can follow the speed limit.
Hold on a second. Say that again, please.
My license was suspended.
Why do you have a suspended driver's license?
It was a bad string of speeding tickets back to back.
Wait a minute. You had a whole bunch of speeding tickets and your license was suspended?
Yep.
Why? Because you had too many points?
Yes, I was 20, I think.
Oh my God!
And
what kind of a rolling scofflaw? What kind of menace on the roads was Roxanne Wilder?
No, this is what happened. I got one ticket, just one speeding ticket deserved. Then I drove to Tallahassee, and I got 2 more speeding tickets.
You got 2 tickets?
It only has to happen in like a year or something.
You didn't get 2 tickets on one trip?
No. I was driving back and forth to Tallahassee, and I got one in those little podunk towns, where they're just waiting for you. And it was like like a 45 and a 35 or something, or 30, whatever the case was. I got multiple tickets.
Right.
My license, instead of being able, this is way back when you took a class in person and you had to actually go to the city where you got the ticket in. You couldn't do it online. And so I didn't take the class, and my license got suspended. And so I knew I had to drive from point A to point B.
Why didn't you take the class? Did you deliberately?
No, because the class was in, what's one of those small towns?
Like Waldo?
Waldo, yes.
No, you don't have to take the class.
Back then you did.
No.
You had to take it in accounting.
You could take the class like anywhere. If you took one of those Florida certified driving school classes, you didn't have to go back to the scene of the crime. You didn't have to go back.
I think you had to go to the county.
No, you didn't have to go back to like Waldo or remember what were those speed trap towns?
Stark?
Yes.
Milton?
Stark, Waldo. Those were along what 301, right? Is that 301?
It is 301.
Yeah.
And you take that if you're going to back way to Jacksonville.
But remember, exactly. So the quick way, like the easy way to get to Jacksonville, you take I-75, then you get off at like 301, and you take that through Stark and Waldo, and then you get onto what I-10, right? That takes you onto I-10, and then you get to like the 295 bypass
loop,
or something. And, that's how you get to Jacksonville a little quicker. But those little speed trap towns, remember, those were shut down. Like there were like all kinds of like state investigations. And I want to say that those police departments were disbanded.
Lawty was the other town. Waldo and Lawty.
Lawty, Lawtey. Waldo and Lawty. You're right.
This is what they had there. Okay, so speed traps. There's some that are called unjustified speed traps, and it's when all of a sudden the speed limit goes down, and it really shouldn't go down with
like
a lower speed limit that is not justified by a traffic survey conducted in the area.
In Waldo and Lawty, the speed would go like from 55 to 25, like in 37 feet. It would be, and
it's not fair.
And they were right. The whole town was run on these speeding tickets. And I remember AAA, like the American Automobile Association, they had designated like these two towns as like the worst speed traps in America.
For 20 years in a row, they were the worst speed trap towns
I
in
think
America.
AAA even put up billboards along 301. Am I right? Was it 301?
Yeah.
Just
301's the road, yes.
Right. And I remember AAA even put up big, huge billboards like warning, speed trap ahead, Waldo, Florida. That was a big deal. All right. So that concludes Early Morons here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. All right. When we get back, were you able to find video of that, Andrew? Were you able to find our audio of the... Did they release the audio of that recording?
Yes, I'll have some.
All right. Man, it's crazy. A sheriff and like a city official discussing like bumping off reporters.
What?
Yeah. A sheriff of a town and another city official discussing hiring a hitman to kill reporters that they didn't like.
Okay.
Yeah, you got to hear this. Also, could this be the biggest rip-off sandwich of all time? The biggest rip-off sandwich. What type of sandwich is it? Hold on. We'll tell you next, and then a whole lot more. Coming up on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Stand by. MJ and the crew, 7:03 here on a Tuesday morning. Think about it. What is the biggest rip-off food item that you've ever purchased? Maybe it was at a sporting event or some kind of stadium event. A lot of times, the food, the drink is all jacked up. Like at a sporting event, can't you pay upwards of $20 for a beer? For one beer?
I think you can. I think there's some sticker shock when you go and you buy your family of four, a couple hot dogs a piece. Then you're like, wait, this is over $50.
At some events, like bottled water, $6.50, $7. I mean, come on, give me a break. Anyway, this is insane, and there are even some pictures. And you got to be kidding me! A ham and cheese sandwich for. Who just sniffled right into the microphone?
I actually went like this.
No, you did.
The allergies are.
Froggy's nose
are you all right?
is so big that he can
My
sniffle.
nose, I get extra allergies because of my nose size.
Follow your nose. It always knows. Yeah. So, what have you spent money on as far as a food item, a sandwich? Can you recollect anything that you bought food-wise that you're like, oh my God, or that you found out the price of this food item and you're like, I'm not spending that much for this?
I mean, almost anything at any sporting event. I remember going to theme parks and walking away from hamburgers that were $14 each that looked terrible. I'm trying to think.
I went to a Rays game once and I wanted a bloomin' onion because they had an Outback thing. And it was 20-something bucks.
For a bloomin' onion?
And I was like, I'll take it.
Hold on, they had an Outback concession.
Yeah, it was an Outback concession back in the day. I don't know if it's still there or not.
At the old Trop before they did the redo?
And you could get a bloomin' onion to take it to watch the ball game.
When did they do that remodel of the Trop? I mean, it's still a terrible
work in progress.
It's it's a terrible,
It's a
terrible.
work in progress.
That's right. It's the worst or second to worst stadium in the entire major league.
I like the Trop.
And
It is what it is.
It's air conditioned.
It is what it is. You know what the problem is? It's just the vibe.
So
even when the team's doing so well, it's just
nobody cares.
Yeah.
it's an awful, awful venue. And
Hey, they have a stingray there that swims around you could pet.
they do need a new venue. But remember they did a remodel some years
They
ago,
did.
10, 15 years ago, whatever the hell it was. All right, so you said there was once a $20 bloomin' onion?
Yeah, it was outrageous.
I remember
but
there
I was so hungry.
There was a place that sold a sporting event that sold a slice of pizza for $10, or you can get the whole pie for $80.
What?
Because it had 8 slices of
What,
pizza.
an $80? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Hold on, where the hell was that?
It sounds familiar. I think it was.
Hold on, it sounds familiar.
Sounds familiar. It
What,
sounds
it was
outrageous.
$10. I remember seeing a picture of this.
Are you hallucinating?
No, because a slice is
Hold on.
$10.
A
slice is $10.
Hold on. You experienced this, or you saw this somewhere?
I seem to remember this at a.
Oh my God! I
a slice
seem
of-
to remember.
Listen, a slice of pizza, $10, right?
Yeah.
You get a whole pie. How many pieces are in a pie? 8? It's an
6.
$80 pizza.
Well, it depends on how big they cut the slices. Let me ask you this. So I'm going to get to my item now. What would the price be, or what would the price threshold have to be for you to say that is the most ridiculous price for a ham and cheese sandwich I've ever heard of?
I would just make my own ham and cheese
Oh my
sandwich.
God.
Just answer the
Ham and
question.
cheese
All right,
sandwich.
so
$13.
What number would have you saying this is the most ridiculous price for a ham and cheese? You just said what, $13?
I mean, I'd probably go a little higher than 13.
All right,
but,
I locked in Froggy at 13. So what would you say, Fester?
I mean, $20?
Okay, you're locked in at 20. All right, Roxanne, you're making your own sandwich over there. Okay,
Well,
that's fine.
I'm going to say $22.
All right, so you're locked in. Guess what? You're all under. You've all underbid.
What kind of ham is it? What kind of cheese is it? I mean, now is it getting super fancy?
It doesn't matter.
Is it on white bread or
if
is
you
it on
get
some fancy bougie artisan bread?
This is up in New York, and Zabar's Eat, E-A-T, not the famous Zabar's market and deli and food place over on the west side.
You gave out 2 words, Zabar and eat, and you chose to spell the word eat?
No, because it's
I'm like, Zabar, how do you spell that?
Because-
You're like, eat, E-A-T.
because the name of the place is E period A period
Okay,
T
all right,
period.
all right.
So you differentiate the original Zabar's on the Upper West Side, like 80th and Broadway, whatever the
Okay,
hell it is.
all right.
So what was that, Andrew?
We don't know one part of New York from the other.
A lot of our listeners do.
Yeah, listen.
A lot of our listeners do. I talk in specificity around here. So Zabar's has been around for like a jillion years. So this is Zabar's EAT.
Okay.
And that's part of the name of this place. So if you want their ham and cheese sandwich, it's $31.57.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean,
It must be amazing.
I don't talk about ham and cheese sandwiches much on the MJ Morning Show. When I saw this, $29 plus tax. And there was a whole Reddit thread on this, like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. $29 ham and cheese sandwich. Thousands of comments, all kinds of, thumbs up, thumbs down, all this. And, people are saying, here's an Upper East Side New York psychologist.
I have to see a picture. This must be the most spectacular ham sandwich in the history of
oh yeah, what if it's
mankind.
like fancy and really?
It's a small sandwich. It is ridiculous. Oh, and it says ham and cheese sandwich on health bread.
Ooh, I don't want it on health bread if I'm paying that much.
$29 each. Who the hell would pay this for like a 4.5 inch by 4.5 inch or 5 inch by 5 inch sandwich?
This looks like vending machine quality
It
ham
does.
sandwich.
It does.
Okay.
It looks like those machines where you slide the plastic door and grab
Right.
it's got
Yeah.
the carousel
When
inside.
you said $29 for a ham and cheese sandwich, I thought you were talking about an exquisite
Yeah.
crafted
Like-
piece of
on like
of meal.
some artisan
Yeah.
baked baguette or something.
Knocking on the door of a Monte Cristo kind of thing.
Nothing like that.
Nah, maybe
well,
not.
just really fancy and
But
goofy.
that's what I was thinking
I
of.
don't think a Monte Cristo is very fancy. By the way, the Monte Cristo is like the most unhealthy sandwich
Dude,
you
you
can
crazy.
possibly
Yeah,
eat.
of course it is.
Delicious.
Have you guys ever been to Bennigan's back in the day when he'd serve it with jelly?
All right, so listen to this.
Oh, so good.
The Upper East Side New York psychologist, and you need to have your head checked if you're spending $29 on a sandwich. So this guy, he said the first time I bought the sandwich, I was like, are you serious? It's not the best ham and cheese sandwich. It's not the worst, but it's just fine. You're going to pay $29 for a tiny little just fine?
Is this
ham
their
and-
way of saying we don't want to make the sandwich?
No, I mean they're selling them. I mean the shelf is loaded.
This is nuts. So it's made from ham and Gruyere cheese. But still, I mean, come on. I mean, this is ridiculous. It's like two smaller sandwiches, and they pack them, on top of each other. But still, $29 for a ham and cheese sandwich is ridiculous. I'm telling you right now, you can go to any number of places in the Tampa Bay area and get a delicious Cuban for what?
$6?
$6, $7?
$7.
Or a nice club sandwich, Village Inn style, maybe $5.
When's the last time you went to a Village Inn?
The Village Inn
Last
Club.
Friday.
You lying sack. You haven't been to a Taco Bell in 10 years, but you went to a Village Inn last Saturday.
We take out.
All right, so listen to this. The half ham and cheese sandwich is $16. So if you bought two halves, that makes the sandwich $32. There's an upcharge. They're charging you more than half the price of the sandwich.
That doesn't make
So
sense.
the half is 16, the whole is 29.
You guys have seen that before, where like a half meal's not quite half the price.
Come on, that's just ridiculous. The egg salad sandwich is $24.
Oh, I'll eat
What
that.
kind of turds? Who's buying this stuff? Who is saying, go ahead, rip me off sideways? Just really jam it up there.
Well, the
and
eggs.
twist it and turn it and really just wedge it up there. Really rip me off good.
The price of eggs have gone through the roof.
Mayonnaise.
I mean, the sandwich used to be, $20, but now the price of mayo.
Have you guys ever watched the
sorry.
show Most Expensivest?
Oh, yeah, with 2 chains.
Yeah, a texter just turned me on to that and said that they look at things like the most expensive bottle of beer is $800, $5,000 for
Yeah.
chicken wings.
I'm sorry, that's ridiculous. Oh, and also, prices in New York are really out of control. For instance, in Midtown, do you know how much a foot-long Subway sandwich? A Subway sandwich, Subway, the Subway chain. How much do you think a foot-long in Midtown Manhattan goes from Subway for?
Didn't they have that song? $5
$5
foot long, right? It's
Times $3 foot long.
$15 a foot long?
16.
Oh,
$15.99 for a foot-long sandwich from Subway in Midtown Manhattan.
I'm going to pay $16 for something at Subway.
That is-
Jared himself had better be the
If
guy
I'm in
making
Manhattan,
Yeah.
I'm not getting a Subway sub.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
I'm gonna go to McDonald's.
For that kind of money, Jared gives you a thumb drive with you don't want it. Yeah,
Take this.
Hey,
Hide this for me.
yeah, the cops are after me. Hide this thumb drive for me.
Thumb
Would you-
it.
please.
You the guy with the large meatball? Here you go.
That is just ridiculous, folks. Absolutely ridiculous. All right, I did not have time here. I will get to it. An Oklahoma sheriff and city officials were caught on tape talking about killing reporters that they didn't like. Are you kidding? What is it? This is 2023. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man.
All right, and then why are idiots putting Elmer's glue all over their windows? Have you seen this?
Elmer.
There's like a trend. People are putting Elmer's glue all over their windows.
Like the kids' paste? Like the
Yeah.
kids' glue?
Oh, and then the money story. We did this late in the show yesterday, and I said we got to bring this back up. This is insane. A family member just plows through the family savings of $200,000. You're not going to believe what they did with the money. This is insane. This is nuts. And that's just scratching the surface. We have a lot of stuff coming up in the next segment of the show, and we start an hour, 20 minutes nonstop. MJ Morning Show next here on Q105. Stand by. Sopranos. Just every once in a while, I like to just reenact the final episode of The Sopranos. You know, guy in the members only jacket. You know, ends just like that. Everyone thought their TVs were busted.
And then it goes, next on HBO, all new Deadwood.
Yeah.
You're like, man, it's over?
What the heck's going on here? Well, no, it was like 15 seconds of black, and then the credits came on. You're like, what the hell? What just happened? 7:25, it's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. We launch 1 hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ right now. Remember, keep listening. Are you drinking these little kitty yogurt drinks? What are these things?
No. You've never seen, it's like those Mio.
The flavoring things.
Yeah.
Oh, it looked like those little animal Danimals.
Yeah, so
those look like little things of Danimals. I'm like, what are you?
Oh, is that to add flavor to your water?
Well, it makes like water into like fruit punch or something, or it gives it like a flavor. When it's, so
what are you, 7?
Yeah, I love these
You
things.
need a little treat
I
with your
go
water?
through like 2 a week.
I look over at Fester. He's got like 3 bottles.
They do look good.
Of what look like Danimals, the little plastic yogurt things that contain like a thimble full of yogurt drink.
So I mean, this is the fruit punch flavor. Then I have like the orange drink flavor
what
here.
is going
and I was
on
just thinking, which flavor do I want? And I went with fruit punch because it was already opened. And I accidentally squeezed it, but the lid was still like half closed, not completely closed. But
Let me guess. The staining crap just went all over your shirt.
No, it was in the cup, but then I had to take the whole bottle and swish it in the water.
Whatever.
Anyway, it's a mess.
We'll bring you some juice boxes
Why don't you
tomorrow.
why don't you just stick your whole hand in there and just stir it up?
I would. This is pretty good.
And that's a good idea. Bring in some juice boxes tomorrow.
I wish we would bring juice boxes in.
Whatever. All right, some Capri Suns. It's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. So heads up, we'll give you that $1,000 Rock the Cash Box keyword. That'll happen in about 35 minutes. It'll happen at 8 o'clock. So listen, we'll give you the keyword, then we'll give you the text number. You text the keyword, and you could win $1,000. Happens multiple times a day. So 8 a.m., 10 a.m., 12 noon, 3 p.m., 5 p.m. There's also the big, huge MJ Morning Show announcement coming, and I'm going to make the pre-announce. I'm going to do this next week. So sometime next week, a big, huge announcement is coming from the MJ Morning Show. Stand by.
And we don't know what it has to do with. We don't. None of us in this room do, right?
I don't believe so.
Does it have to do with any of us?
No.
Yes, Roxanne. It has to do with you.
It's all about you, Roxanne.
Be sure to be here Monday morning.
All about you.
Because we're going to have a meeting about Roxanne.
Quite possibly might be.
No.
Yes.
All right, so big announcement coming. No, trust me, it's not. I know what the announcement is. It's not about you.
No, it's about Roxanne.
But
yes.
Roxanne, if you do have a big announcement, just let us know at any
Roxanne,
time.
is there a big announcement you'd like to be making, Roxanne?
Okay, next story.
All right, so moving right along here. We did this in the last minutes of the show yesterday. And I'm like, we got to bring this back up during the program tomorrow because this is insane. What would you do if a family member rolled through the family savings fortune by throwing it out the window on a major interstate here in the United States?
That person sounds unstable.
You think?
There are 2 sides to this, because if I'm a family member of the guy, I do one thing, but if I find the money, I do something completely different.
An Oregon driver, this happened on the West Coast in Oregon, a driver threw an estimated $200,000 in cash in $100 bills out of his car window on Interstate 5 because he claims he wanted to bless other people.
I mean, people do that.
Yeah.
No, they don't do that.
They don't bless people?
Well,
maybe make a donation to a charity or something, or you directly help a particular person.
not by throwing $200,000 out of your car window on a major interstate. State police said that Colin Davis McCarthy, 38, was chucking out wads of that sounds like a great radio promotion. Can you imagine this? The MJ Morning Show, we're chucking out wads of $100 bills on 275 and I-4. Can you imagine what kind of pileup we would cause?
God.
Great.
Can you imagine?
I mean, not great,
We would
but-
be arrested. We would be thrown in jail. State police said that Colin Davis McCarthy was throwing out huge wads of $100 bills from his car window along Interstate 5. The dude, he was doing it at night also.
Was anyone in the car with him?
No. This happened in Eugene, Oregon. Drivers were slowing down, stopping, jamming on their brakes, getting out of their car to pick up wads of $100 bills all over the interstate. 200 grand. So troopers finally located this guy McCarthy, and he said that he was doing well and wanted to bless others with gifts of money. First of all, wouldn't you do this during the day to minimize the chances of somebody getting run over? Or how about better yet, how about it's probably not safe to throw wads of $100 bills out on a highway, an interstate where people are driving 65, 75 miles an hour?
No, this is a multi-level blessing. First, you have to find the money. Second, you have to survive picking it up.
Dude, this guy's clearly out of his mind. This guy clearly has mental problems. I'm sorry. So troopers were worried that people looking for cash on the dark interstate could get run over. Or, well, duh.
Yeah, that's a good observation,
I
Trooper.
can't believe nobody did.
My God. So the troopers finally said, stop throwing the money out of your car. This guy's just driving down I-5 in Eugene, Oregon, and throwing out wads of $100 bills on a dark interstate.
Man.
He said that he wanted to give the cash out because he was doing well. He wanted to bless others.
Was he on drugs?
Why didn't you just hand it out to homeless people or something?
Yeah.
His family is livid. Apparently, he blew through the entire family fortune. The police were going to arrest him for disorderly conduct, reckless endangerment, but they didn't. Not facing any charges right now. He could. They're saying that he could have been charged in a situation like this for danger created for his actions. Oh, you mean like throwing $100 bills out of a car window while cars are driving on an interstate at 65 or 75 miles an hour? Yeah, that might be slightly dangerous.
I wonder what the most one person got out of that. Like, you think somebody got like 10 grand?
I mean, seriously, $100, a stack of hundreds. It's not. Use 20s. That's a lot of money.
No, how about you don't throw money out of a car window? Hey,
ones.
Hey, guess what?
Fives. Oh man.
Hey, guess what? My big announcement next week. We're going to be throwing wads of cash onto the interstates at highway speeds.
Pennies.
Yeah,
From Fester's car.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's the big MJ Morning Show promotion.
Yes.
Let's see how quickly we can be fired, arrested.
Roxanne, that's a great idea. I could put Shorty Shane in a trunk.
Yes.
I'll just open the trunk on the interstate and just throw out money while I drive. Oh, man, that's brilliant.
Shorty Shane throwing out cash. My God.
All right, so there's two sides to this, MJ. I mean, his family's furious.
Oh, the family's nuts. Now, apparently, the money was mostly in his name, so there's nothing the family can do. And now the family is begging people that picked up the cash, the wads of hundreds, to please return the money. Yeah, good luck with that.
I mean, his name's on the account, so he can do whatever he wants with all of the money.
Yeah, exactly. So McCarthy's family said that his decision to spread the wealth has left them broke. Please return the money.
I thought he was doing so good.
Yeah. All righty. Yeah. Let's see how much of the $200,000 is returned. Can you imagine the mayhem if we did a radio promotion? The MJ Morning Show Cash Cruiser is driving around Tampa Bay.
No, you got to do that cash ass that you shoot the money out of the butt, like you always said you wanted to do.
Oh, the Malcolm Glazer money butt that
we tow it around on a trailer, Froggy?
Just a big ass.
We spend more money making the ass.
Yeah, I mean,
this goes back to the Malcolm Glazer money butt.
I just can't get that visual out of my head.
So when the Buccaneers were purchased by the Glazers, and money out the we were saying money out the wazoo, and this very, very rich, loaded family. They've got children's museums now. They have all kinds of stuff. The Glazers, they're philanthropic. They're
Manchester United,
all kinds.
Yeah.
So years ago, I wonder if Joel and who's the other one?
Brian.
Pete.
I wonder if they remember the Malcolm Glazer money butt that we talked about building this massive Malcolm Glazer like statue. and with a very exaggerated butt. And it was going to be like a giant paper mache, like a big wire frame. And we wanted to put it on the back of a flatbed trailer.
Yes.
And drive through the streets of Tampa Bay. And we would have a money gun inside the cheeks. And it would blow cash out his ass.
Still great
it was going to be the Malcolm Glazer money butt just driving through the streets of Tampa Bay, blowing cash out his butt.
Now that's the way to do it.
Now, but on side streets or residential streets, maybe it wouldn't be as dangerous. But our idea now is, I like it. Put Shorty Shane in a trunk, and he just throws out wads of cash on 275, I-4, 75.
Now that'll get views.
That ought to be a very safe promotion. What do you think?
Have they started a GoFundMe for this family or something? Has anybody returned any of the cash?
I haven't seen that. I have not seen any GoFundMe. I have not seen where anybody returned any of the cash.
Of course not.
Okay.
As the father throws out $200,000 on I-4. Clearly, this guy's not playing with a full deck. Clearly, this guy's got some
Or
kind
is
of...
he?
No, come on.
No,
No one...
Conspiracy theories floating around on the
All
text
right,
line.
give us one then, Ross.
Oh, what is it?
Someone just texted me and said, I heard a theory
Yep.
going around that he didn't throw all the money out and instead kept most of it to keep it from his family, but acted like he threw most of it out the windows.
I have not seen that conspiracy. A relative told police the cash came from their shared bank accounts. He had control, though, or he had the ability to withdraw, and I do not see that theory anywhere.
It was
It's on YouTube.
It was Interstate 5.
Yeah, I-5.
Okay,
Yeah.
you said I-4 a second ago.
No, here. I'm talking about I-4
Okay.
here.
All right.
I'm saying if we do the money thing, that we would blow out cash on I-4, I-75, I-275. I'm talking about our local promotion.
Oh.
If we decided to throw money out on the interstate as part of a brilliant MJ Morning Show promotion, that would be very safe. Because, nothing would be safer than people jamming on their brakes on our local interstates and getting out of their car while cars are, driving 90 miles an hour. Can you imagine the Howard Franklin money blowout? We just
They'll all end up in the water.
That's risky. That's risky. Those construction workers are the ones that are going to score on that one.
My God. All right, we did the story. We mentioned this late in the show, like the last thing yesterday, and I said, we got to bring this back up because this is Crazy Eddie insane. That's just absolutely nuts. All right, a couple of other items that I teased. We have a crazy story about a sheriff and city officials in a little town in Oklahoma talking about hiring a hitman to kill reporters they don't like. Can you imagine? Just picture this. A local sheriff here in the Tampa Bay area caught on tape conspiring with other city officials talking about, oh, yeah, we don't like this reporter from Channel 5, or we don't like this reporter from the newspaper. Yeah, we'll hire a hitman and we'll have them killed. What the hell?
Okay, both scenarios that I'm about to describe would be wrong,
Yeah.
but did they really mean that they were going to do it and they were conspiring and they were creating this plan to do it, or were they just kind of talking in hyperbole?
The audio is not that clear, but there's like an audio recording of this.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that were very quiet guys.
All right, so this is the sheriff's
Oh, that's clear as day.
the sheriff's like, I know 2 or 3 hitmen.
I've known 2 or 3 hitmen that were very quiet guys
Yeah,
and would cut no mercy.
yeah.
Would cut no
He's a
mercy?
very quiet guy.
Oh, my.
So if you just played that audio and said, guess what this guy does for a living? Oklahoma sheriff
Yeah.
is what
Cut
I'm
no mercy
Yeah,
in Louisiana because it was all mafia around
Yeah.
Louisiana.
yeah, but here's the reality. If the hair on his wife's head, her son's head,
I mean, there's a whole conversation. It's not the clearest.
What the
She
hell?
said if a hair on his wife's head or someone's head.
So
what?
the sheriff's talking about knowing a bunch of mafia hitmen out of, did he say Louisiana?
Because the whole mob runs Louisiana.
Whole mob from Louisiana. That's
is
what he
true,
says.
Which is true.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
All right, that's crazy. So now they're in trouble. Oklahoma's governor on yesterday, called for the resignation of the McCurtain County Sheriff and several county officials as they're talking about hiring a hitman from Louisiana to bump off local journalists they don't like. And
Dumb name for a
can't
county.
make this crap up. Is anybody doing this stupid social media video trick where people are smearing Elmer's glue all over their house windows
For what reason?
to get that frosted look?
Well, they have spray for that, don't they? I thought, like for the
I
holidays.
think they have like a sheet. Like
No, this is not for the holidays. It's just to get that frosted look on your windows any time of year.
Why? What?
People are smearing Elmer's glue on their windows.
Let's try it on the door and the window right here.
That's a great idea.
I think I saw someone do it to your car, MJ. It looks good.
Uh-oh.
No, they didn't.
Just kidding.
Yeah. Don't even plant that
I'm
seed.
just kidding.
The seed has been planted.
Yeah, thank
Froggy
you.
and I are going to buy glue today.
But people are taking Elmer's glue and like a roller, and for whatever reason, there are like viral videos going around, and get that really cool frosted window look.
Does it work?
You know what I've determined? That social media and all these challenges. Hey, a kid's dead from that Benadryl challenge. Did you see that?
Let's not compare the Benadryl challenge to this person putting office supplies on their window.
But hang on a minute. What I'm saying, though, is clearly social media, all of these videos, all of these challenges, this clearly is a way, this is by some grand design to thin out the herd, to reduce the population on planet Earth, and to, have idiots essentially eliminate themselves to reduce the population and the stress on the environment.
All right, I'm watching a video of somebody who put food coloring into Elmer's glue and created a beautiful stained glass in their whole place.
Wow.
Because
Like a
it's-
church.
Oh, that's pretty.
It looks really nice and classy and tacky, but
It looks
smell
awful.
like
it's
glue.
Elmer's glue.
It looks terrible. And then they put what? Like McCormick food coloring in the glue?
No, look, you can see they used pink and yellow here, and then they cut etchings in it, and it makes like a stained glass.
It's awful.
How
Folks,
dumb.
don't put Elmer's glue on your window.
Go mow the lawn or something. You have to have something else to do. You must.
Yeah.
You must.
Yeah, and also on a very, very serious note, I did see this and it was terrible. Again, social media, it's mostly these stupid TikTok challenges. There's a 13-year-old kid in Ohio that is dead because he attempted the TikTok Benadryl challenge. Come on. You know, now the Chinese communist-run spy app is killing our kids now, too. Ohio teen overdosed on Benadryl. 13 years old, Jacob Stevens, was doing the Benadryl challenge, a dangerous challenge which participants take 12 to 14 of the Benadryl antihistamine pills.
What?
And that's 6 times the recommended dosage. And the story is, take the TikTok Benadryl challenge because you'll have great hallucinations. No, you'll be dead. I mean, it's just dangerous. Parents, do me a favor. Parents, talk to your kids not to do these stupid challenges online like this, the Benadryl challenge, like the blackout challenge. There are a bunch of these things where kids are dying. And here, case in point, a 13-year-old kid, a beautiful little kid, gone because he was doing the Benadryl challenge because of pressure or whatever the hell he was doing regarding this TikTok idiocy. Yeah, so this thing started blowing up in 2020. You know, people want to be online famous. They want to be TikTok famous. And yeah, this kid is not TikTok famous because he died doing a stupid trick. Yeah, Jacob's father, Justin, told ABC6 out of Ohio that his son was at home last weekend with friends when he overdosed. So he was doing the Benadryl challenge with a whole bunch of friends. Please, parents, talk to your kids and make sure they don't do these stupid peer pressure, dumbass online social media challenges. They can be deadly, and here's a perfect example.
You know what I noticed with my kids? They watch all these YouTube shows. I mean, I supervise them, but like Trin and Madison, they're little girls, they're 5-year-old girls. Everything on these shows is a challenge. So like that word challenge is ingrained in them. So my 3-year-old's like, Mama, let's do a challenge. Everything is a challenge.
Hold on,
in
your
our
kid
house.
sounds like that?
Mommy, let's do a challenge.
Yeah, she kind of
Mommy,
does.
I want a golden goose. Mommy, Mommy,
No.
I want
All
it
right,
now.
Violet.
Exactly.
Wonka, how much for a golden goose?
Roxanne, you're going to have big problems with this kid, I'm telling you now.
No, this is my younger kid.
Oh, this is the younger one?
Daviana.
Oh,
No,
so the
she's-
younger one sounds like a British debutante? Really?
Mommy, I'm thirsty for milk.
She can't
So-
say her ahs very well either.
Has your 3-year-old been invited to the king's coronation?
Yeah.
Taking the place of Meghan Markle by any chance?
She says,
Hey, by the way, I've had several people send me pictures of gas pumps with no gas.
I see those everywhere.
Well, locally or in South Florida?
South Florida.
Yes. Well, I see them. You're not seeing them up here.
Well-
so people are panicking. I received in the last day, I have 4 or 5 pictures that people have sent to my email. I had several come into my direct messages in my Instagram account, and people are like, MJ, what's going on? Why is there a gas shortage? No, there's no gas shortage. And then I ask, well, where's this picture taken? Oh, my cousin sent it to me from Fort Lauderdale.
Right.
Well, because of the flooding, the tanker trucks could not get to gas stations. And like at Port Everglades, I guess where some of the gas comes from, wherever they load up, the tankers, there's no gas shortage. There's plenty of gas. It was just a matter of, with all the severe flooding in South Florida, that the gas tankers were not able to distribute. So, folks, don't panic. We're not going to have any shortage here in the Tampa Bay area. It's just a temporary situation in South Florida as gas stations are being restocked, and there's just a backlog because the tankers could not get to gas stations in Miami-Dade and Palm Beach County and Broward because of the 25 inches of rain that fell last week in Fort Lauderdale. That's it.
We stopped at 3 gas stations in Weston on Saturday.
Yep.
None at any of them.
Oh, you were out in Weston.
Just
Oh.
passing through, driving
Oh.
back from Miami.
By any chance, did you stop in Wellington to play some polo?
Croquet. Yes, polo. That's
Polo,
right.
yeah, not croquet.
Not croquet.
Croquet. They had a croquette. but-
Polo. That's
Yeah.
right.
And I have what time is it? Let me do my teased item, and then I want to know if you, Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, Andrew, our producer, are you having this phenomenon lately? 2 things, and then I would like to ask our listeners as well. There is something going on a couple of fronts, and I'm getting a rash of something on my cell phone. 2 individual things. Get to that in a second. First, though, there is a baby naming controversy.
Okay.
Tell me if you would have a problem with this. If a baby was named, so your kid was named, and there was some meaning behind the name that you did not originally know.
Oh, like
Oh,
the guy
yeah.
named Lamangelo?
No.
And it's Lemon Jello.
No.
And then he
No,
had a
not
twin
like that.
brother named Arangelo. And like, and the teacher's like, first day of school, yes, Lemon Jello. And nobody's saying anything. He's like, it's Lamangelo. Is that what you're talking about?
No.
No.
It's like if Allison didn't tell you, but Hudson was her first husband, and she named him after, and the meaning behind his name was more than you were aware of.
Oh, so
Like that.
we didn't name the kid after that filthy river.
That is correct.
Oh, okay.
So here's the story. This guy says his wife named their son after her first love.
Well, I would change that kid's name to Lamangelo right away.
Wow.
What's his name?
So the son is now 5, and the father apparently just recently found out they were shopping and ran into the wife's high school friend,
Oh my God.
and she was catching up oh my God, haven't seen you in years. And apparently the wife had a thing with this guy. They were, boyfriend, girlfriend, first love in high school. They're out shopping, run into this guy, conversation ensues, and then it comes up, oh, we have a son now. And the guy says, oh, really? What's the name of your son? And then it's revealed that the son's name was the name, and it's a unique name. I don't have the name.
That's important.
That was left. No, the point is that it's somewhat of a unique name. It's not like David. It's not like John.
Okay.
Apparently, it was somewhat of a unique name, and clearly the boy, the 5-year-old kid now, was named after the mother, the wife's first love.
Oh my God, there's Jebediah, my first boyfriend.
Not such a unique name 2,000 years ago, you know.
Right. So when the old friend asked the name of the kid, the wife hesitated. She had a strange look on her face and then said the name. And then the guy's like, after me?
Oh my God, it's him. It's more than just meeting an old friend.
Man,
You're meeting the guy.
That is an awkward situation. So what would you do? Your kid is 5 years old, and then you find out that there is like some kind of a still clingy attachment that your wife has to this first guy who probably took it away from her, and the kid is named. Your son is named after this high school love of your wife.
Wow.
How do you go through the rest of your life? How do you not think of that every time you call your kid's name?
Oh, yeah, that's baggage.
What do you do? What do you do?
Change the kid's name at 5.
I told you we had a little naming controversy here.
You have to start calling him by the middle name.
So the father says, I feel betrayed and disgusted with her. It's like a switch was flipped in my mind, and I can't look at her the same way. Clearly, every time he says his kid's name, he's like, oh, my God, I'm thinking of them in the back seat of Dad's car, going,
Wow.
But is it a cool name?
Don't know the name. Roxanne, it
that would
doesn't
shed some light.
It doesn't matter. No, it does. It has nothing to do with it.
What if it's like Rufus or something
the
cool?
The name of the kid is irrelevant. That's not even part of the story. So because I guess they don't want to identify, they want to keep the story somewhat anonymous, they're not identifying the not so common name of the ex-boyfriend who's now the kid. The name has nothing to do with it. That's ancillary to the story. But what would you, Fester, what would you do?
That's crazy.
All right, so tell me,
betrayal.
What would you do? 5 years old, and you find out that your kid was named after this first love of your wife, and she never told you.
Come up with a nickname right away and go with that. You got to go by not even like a middle name, because suddenly the whole name is tainted. You got to come up with a straight up nickname, like like Lefty or something.
I wouldn't care.
Let's grab a couple of calls on this. 800-990-1047. You just heard the story. What would you do?
That could turn you off from the whole relationship.
But also, this can be flipped. So for our female callers, what would you do if turns out that your daughter was named after your husband's first love?
Or any love, really.
What would you do? How would you handle the situation? Any thoughts? 800-990-1047. So you've heard the story. You got the fact pattern. What would you do? What would you do? 800-990-1047. Would this put a kibosh on the marriage?
I mean,
could this cause a marital split?
Really? That's kind of ridiculous.
I mean, emotional cheating of some sort, deception forever. She's never going to tell you.
And the name is attached for life. What do you drop the first name, go with the middle name all of a sudden? What do you do?
No, you give him a like you give him a dog's name, Spot.
Do you force a name change?
It depends on the name. Maybe his name's Jeremiah. You can call him Jerry.
Let's go to phones. 800-990-1047. I'm just going to take a couple. We're not going to do a whole long segment here. Just want to grab a couple of calls and see what our listeners would do. Let's start with Matt in Tampa. Matt, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Q105. Hello.
Hello.
Yes, Matt.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I do. A name is kind of a very personal thing, and
Yep.
if you've raised your son for 5 years, that's kind of a WTF. Now, I can tell you from personal experience, this is going to be kind of weird, maybe, but maybe not. Like, I mean, I've taken my family to restaurants where I had gone with previous, relationships before being married and everything, where the food was awesome, and I didn't tell them, hey, I used to go here with so and so.
Yeah, but I don't know
That's really different. I mean, okay.
I mean, just because you went to a restaurant with an ex and the food is good, I don't think you need to write that place off for the rest of your life.
There's only so many Carrabba's in town,
and
okay?
I don't know. I don't know if you need to tell them. I don't know if you need to let them know every individual prior to them that you went to dinner with at this place. I don't know if that's that big of a deal.
Amber and I sat in the corner last time I was here.
Right.
Get the chicken Brian.
But I'll admit, I like when doing that, I didn't say a word about having been there previously or anything like that.
Yeah, so you're feeling a little guilt, which shows maybe you got a little bit of a conscience, but I don't think that comes close to secretly naming your kid after your first love and not telling your husband. So
Exactly. Oh, no. I'm just saying, my personal relation to this was well, the closest thing I've got is maybe a restaurant.
Well, Matt, hopefully this does not torment you psychologically and you can go on with your life.
Oh yeah, that's why my wife helps name all the daughters.
You name the daughters.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
MJ, I got to tell you, I've got multiple texters that agree with my point that the name does matter, and I had to formulate my thought a little bit more about this. But say I dated a guy in high school, and I really loved him, whatever, and he was named Davion or Davion, and then I still would want to name my daughter Daviana because I love that name, regardless of how I feel about
You gotta get past that. If you date a guy named Davion and then you have a daughter, you want to name her Daviana? No.
Nice to meet you, Roxanne. My name is Davion.
Oh my gosh, we have biology together, and I love him, Dad. His name is Davion.
My name is Dasani.
Seriously.
Carla's in Valrico. Carla.
Terrible example.
It is.
Hi.
Carla. Carla Valrico, MJ Morning Show. You're up.
Hi. If I was the husband, I would do a DNA test on the kid to know if it was my kid or not.
Oh, because maybe he also fathered that thing.
Exactly.
I mean, hold on, Carla. According to the story, the guy seemed genuinely surprised when, hey, I haven't seen you in 20 years. Oh, you have a kid, and you named him after me.
Maybe he just played off that way to not.
Yeah. Well, 20 years ago, we had a thing going.
Yep. Carla, I think it's a good point. Thank you, Carla.
You're welcome. Bye.
Tom is in Sarasota. Hello, Tom. MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello, Mr. MJ.
Hello, Mr. Tom.
I've got a great story for you about the regret of a name. Can you imagine naming your child something and then they have to live with it with the rest of their life and you can't change it?
Is it your kid or somebody else's?
I'm working in a car garage, and a lady came in, and she puts her name down on the form, blah, 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 whatever. And I look down at it, and I look back up at her. I look back down at her name, and I look back up at her, and I say, ma'am, how do you pronounce your name? She said, and she gave me this look like she's going to laser beam right through my skull because she's apparently heard this her whole life. She looked at me and said, Shatid. And you can probably imagine how that's spelled. It's S-H-I.
Oh, yeah. We got it. Shatid?
She said that it cost, her parents couldn't change it because they couldn't afford to change her name. They weren't paying attention to the spelling.
All right, hold on a minute. You're telling me, come on. Is this, this has got to be, you're telling me that the woman's name was spelled S-H-T-H-E-A-D?
Yes, it is.
Oh, come on.
It was Shatid.
Shatid.
She's a very nice lady, too. And
Tom, are you yanking our crankshaft here?
I am not. You want to Google that name in Cambridge, Maryland? Go ahead, because she lives there.
Shatid.
I swear to God, I wouldn't.
That's hysterical.
Craziest thing I've ever seen in my life, man. And look, you can see the look of despair on her eyes as soon as I said that. She was probably about 30 years old at that time, which was probably it's 2007. So she's been living with us for some time.
Hold on, Tom. The name would be Shafid because there's a TH in there.
Yeah, it's Shafid.
But if it's spelled SHTHEAD,
Exactly. I had to look at her and say, "Excuse me, but how do you pronounce that?" And God, I felt so bad.
All right, Tom, thanks for the call.
I half think that Tom is full of Shafid.
Hey, listen. Any way you slice it, very creative phone call.
Thank you, Tom.
I don't know if I'm buying it.
Yeah,
but
that would be
anytime.
A little outrageous.
Hey, speaking of buying stuff, how'd you like to buy $1,000 right now in your hand? Let's go, and I'll take. Hey, Andrew, just the calls are on hold. So if you're on hold, I'll grab a few more calls before we move live. This NT talent, TALENT talent.
Did you stutter the first time you
I
spelled
think
it?
I did.
One Allen talent.
Like there's no talent on this show. All right, this hour's word is talent. Text it nationwide right now to 45911 before 8:15. You got a shot at $1,000, or you can enter it on the Q105 app or at myq105.com. The word is talent, TALENT. Text it right now nationwide, 45911. Good luck from the MJ Morning Show here at Q105. All right, Craig is in Palm Harbor. Hello, Craig. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
I had this argument for years with my first wife. I named my daughter after my two roommates, Sarah Lynn. And I got accused of...
Oh, wait, hold on. So you had two female roommates. One was named Sarah and one was named Lynn?
Correct. They had a room and I had a room, and we lived on Dunedin Beach.
Oh, you're like a little Three's Company. Cute.
Come and knock on my door.
We've been waiting. Okay.
So my point is the mother of this child that named it after her first love had such a love for this guy and brought such joy to her life, she wanted to name her son after him because she had that love of that guy.
But that's like name cheating. It's like betrayal. It's like not being honest or coming clean with your current wife who you procreated with.
Yeah, but it's something that was personal to her. It doesn't have to be personal to you. You allowed the name. You didn't have to know a whole history about it. Nobody had to know the history of my daughter's name. But when my wife said, I said, yeah, absolutely. And then it was fine.
It's kind of like deception by omission.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, that's exactly right. Hey, by the way, you borrowed that from me, and I borrowed that from Michelle. Deception by omission. Craig, thanks for the call.
It's like Jack Tripper naming his daughter Janet Chrissy. It doesn't make sense.
Catherine is next on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, Catherine.
Hi, MJ. First of all, I would get a DNA test on that kid.
Yep.
And then if he didn't cooperate, I'll make him change the name. And if not, I would ask for divorce because that's ridiculous.
So you think it would be grounds for divorce?
Yes.
There you go.
All right. What about the kid? What about the kid that's being called this name for the first 5 years of his life?
Well, that's not my problem. I mean,
It's not my problem.
something original. Don't name it after your lover, your ex-lover.
Yeah. No, listen, this is a problem. This is absolutely deceit by omission. Catherine, thanks for the call. Two more, we got to move on. And you got to hear about the pizza guy. Did you see the video on the pizza delivery guy?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, my.
The hero.
This is great. You got to hear about the pizza delivery guy hero. Carlton is in Lakeland. Hey, Carlton, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, MJ. Morning to you and the crew, man. Hey, listen up. 3 Ds for that question. 3 Ds.
Yep.
DNA.
Yep.
Divorce. And then disappear. Yeah.
Three
cold.
No question asked. DNA. Divorce. And disappear.
Disappear.
With my kids. Yeah. Because, listen, man, she purposely did that to keep her remembering her ex-lover.
Oh, there's no doubt about
it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Every time she called that kid, that guy flashed in her memory.
Fully agree, Carlton.
Now, Carlton, if you were going to disappear with your kid, if you were going to disappear, where would you take the kid, Carlton?
Hey, wherever I'm going.
I'm thinking Jamaica. All right, so Carlton, where you from? Carlton, where you from originally?
Jamaica.
Exactly.
All right.
I was 100% right. Going to Montego Bay, baby.
All right, Carlton.
Harry, man, Harry.
Ocho Rayas.
Ocho Rios.
All right, Carlton, have a great day, pal.
You do, man. Got the crew.
I see you later, man.
I love Jamaica.
Yeah, he says Ocho Rios the authentic way, and you say it the
Ocho
honky way. You say it the
Rios.
honky way. You say it the cruise ship way.
One last call here.
All right.
One last porta call. Meredith is in.
Meredith.
Yeah.
Hey, Meredith.
Meredith. Welcome, Meredith, to the MJ Morning Show.
Hey, I just have a few quick things. First of all, just maybe no one ever says his name again.
Yep.
Or you can slowly work in another name and just retrain him over time. Or I think it's just hysterical. I mean, if there was a meaning behind it, like my boyfriend passed away when I was 22 years old. And I always thought about, maybe I'd do a middle name in his honor, But I would, of course, go over that with my spouse if that was even a choice that I would have, just because it's someone to honor. So it's like a little bit of a different case there. This really didn't have... I don't think that much. Maybe she was a stalker and she wanted to keep keeping him around. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a weird story. It complicates the marriage. It complicates your kid that you find out that when the kid's 5 years old that you run into the wife's ex-boyfriend and you find out your 5-year-old kid's named after him. Anyway, if you're just tuned in, folks, that's the story. Meredith, thanks.
I got one last thing.
Oh, yeah, go ahead,
we got
Meredith.
nothing but time, Meredith.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Because the same thing happened to my father in a weirder way. My grandmother's brother was named Marlon. Hated the name, hated it. Changed his name to Spike. Not sure if that's better or
Hold
not.
on. Change the name to Spike from Marlon?
From Marlon. And so when my dad was born, she named him Marlon. Knowing fully that her brother hated the name.
Wow. Thank you, Meredith. Appreciate it. Yes, Rox.
Did I ever tell you guys that I had an ex-boyfriend I found out years later named his dog my name? I can't figure out if that was like
I remember
an
that story.
ode or a dig.
Yeah, I remember that too.
Yeah, I remember Roxanne's like, what kind of dog was it again?
Well, that's what's important. What kind of dog?
I don't know.
Was it a Shih Tzu?
I think it was a hunting dog.
Oh, by the way, I just had a friend of mine send me a screenshot from social media, and I don't know which it is, but they found a Lily Shatid from Baltimore County, Maryland. So,
I mean, she would have gone by Lily, guys. I mean, come on. And this was in Massachusetts.
Shatid.
Man.
I think I used to crank call that person.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
Them and the diarrhea family.
Let's just go. It's diarrhea.
It's diarrhea.
Anyway, what's the story with before I get to the pizza story? The Lightning, the first of 97 rounds of playoffs begin, tonight?
I don't even know if we should mention it because there's so many rounds of hockey playoffs, but
If only.
Yeah, Tampa Bay Lightning, the first game of the first round is tonight in, Toronto?
In Toronto?
Yeah.
Toronto.
Hockey.
So, hey, Roxanne?
Yes.
For $100 cash, what is the name of the Toronto NHL team?
The Toronto Blue Jays. No, I'm just kidding.
You don't know, do you?
I mean, baseball's her jam.
Yeah. Hockey. What is the name of the Toronto team? Do not look at texting.
I'm not looking
Close
at
your
texting.
eyes.
I should absolutely know this, but I got no sleep last night.
It's a very Canadian name.
Why
It's a
can't I think of
Canadian.
this?
It's
You
a
guys are-
Canadian.
I'm just
The
completely
Lightning-
failing under pressure.
The Lightning are playing the Toronto
Orioles. No, Toronto Maple Leafs. Maple Leafs. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
The Orioles.
Not every team is bird related.
Hold
in
on.
that town.
You opened your eyes and you're looking at the
No,
text
God
screen.
strike me dead. No. Look at my eyes. You can look back on it. I said God strike me dead again for Fester.
Oh, sure you.
So,
She said God
Maple
strike me
Leafs.
dead 2 days in a
Yeah,
row.
you know what? That's probably not a good thing.
I didn't look at it.
I'm
I
not
can
very
say it.
superstitious,
Now
but
you
I'm.
guys are going to know if I don't follow what I'm saying with God strike me dead that it's probably a lie.
No, I'm concerned because we're entering rainy season. And Roxanne, if you go with a lightning strike, I'm like, well, I mean, she asked for it.
pizza delivery story. Then something is happening on my cell phone very, very frequently lately, and I want to know what's the game here. Now, one, I know what the game is. One, I'm like, listen, it's some type of racket or scam, but I want to run it by you. Get to that in a second. First, this video is great. Hey, Andrew, did you get the pizza video? Is it up on mjmorningshow.com? Do you have it up?
It is on videos we talked about.
All right, so this will be on videos mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. So if you go to our website, you go to mjmorningshow.com, look for videos mentioned, and the video link is going to be there, and you're going to want to see this after we talk about it. On Sunday, a dude was making a pizza delivery for Coco's Pizza in Ashton, Delaware. Cops were chasing a 17-year-old perp who was running from police. Apparently stole a car, then bailed. The cops in Delaware are chasing this guy. It's in a neighborhood. The pizza delivery guy is walking up to the house to make the delivery. See, he's got the pizza in his hand, sees all the commotion. The cops are like flying in, screeching to a halt. The perp is now running down the sidewalk. The pizza guy walks away from the front door where he's just about to deliver the pizza.
With the pizza still in his hand.
He's holding the pizza with both hands, and here comes the perp running down the sidewalk, and he sticks his leg out and trips the perp while still holding the pizza. And there's also
it looks like either garlic knots or maybe a calzone or a sub or something.
Yeah, he's got a brown bag on top of the cardboard pizza box. So there's something in it. Maybe it's crazy bread.
Ooh, I love crazy bread.
Crazy bread.
It's crazy.
Maybe it's chicken wings.
Maybe it could be wings. Could be boneless wings.
Could be fried pickles.
Who knows? What pizza place serves fried Coco's? Coco's Pizza.
There you go.
You got to hear the audio here. So this is the pizza guy. Is
it a Ring camera?
Yeah, so one of those doorbell cameras or one of those door cameras caught the pizza guy tripping the perp running down the sidewalk.
He starts running. I'm like, I got the pizza in my hand. I didn't get the cash yet for the pizza, so I'm like, I'm not going to go back without the money for this pie. So I just I honestly feel like I did what anybody else would do. And that's kind of how I'm feeling, is like people think I did something extraordinary. And I don't really think I did. I think I just did what you're supposed to do in a situation like that. So I stuck my leg out and caught a pretty nasty bruise on it, but it is what it is. I'll survive.
What did the police say to you?
We were high-fiving, honestly. We were celebrating together a little bit. I don't know if that's okay for them to do.
Yes, of
but
course.
I felt good about it, and I think they were happy to have an extra hand or foot to help them out, you know?
And the guy didn't drop the pizza. The pizza delivery was then subsequently made after, I guess he had to put the pizza down to high-five the cops.
Well, I mean, he runs up to the door. I mean, all of my pizza would be off to one side, though, wouldn't it? I mean, the herky-jerkiness.
Oh!
Watch this. This is audio.
Chase.
This is from the
high-speed chase.
Active chase. So that's the homeowner. So let me roll that back. So this is actual audio from the Ring doorbell, and the pizza guy can hear. He says like, "Oh bleep!" So that's dropped out in the audio here. Listen again.
Oh! That's a high-speed chase.
Oh, high-speed chase.
That's a high-speed chase.
All right, so now the pizza guy's walking away from the door.
Oh my God, Yeager! Oh my God, Yeager! There's a high-speed chase.
And now here comes the perp.
No!
Oh, we got him!
Yeah, then you can hear the cops say, "Get the bleep on the ground."
Oh, man.
And that was it. Man, the video is great.
Dude, 2 hands on the pizza box the whole time. I'm sure the pizza was fine.
Whole time.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah. So the video is up on our website. If you go to mjmorningshow.com, find videos mentioned on the show, click on that, and then you will see the video from the Ring doorbell cam, and it is fantastic. Now, here's the chief of the Brookhaven Delaware police. Listen.
It was actually shocking to see that it was, that he just happened to be delivering a pizza there, and I understand the pizza ended up being delivered without any further incidents there with that. But, in all seriousness, though, we do ask people to not intervene, that we want to let the police handle it. But in this case, it did work out.
So here's the police chief, and he's trying to add that little legal disclaimer. We don't encourage citizens to get actively involved in a high-speed chase. But, hey, this kind of worked out okay.
Only thing this was missing was Spicoli watching nearby. What, you don't remember Fast Times with the pot of coffee?
I do. Was that a robber? Where was that? Oh, in the convenience store.
Yes. Only thing was missing was Spicoli watching nearby.
Dude, that is more obscure than anything that I even come up with.
No, that's not true.
That's not true. I agree with you, Andrew.
obscure comments is they have to have an almost immediate connection. Oh, brother, I love you.
Thank you. Thank you. And ladies and gentlemen, Andrew, the producer.
You know what we should do, MJ?
Yes.
We should reenact this with Sardo and Andrew.
What? So wait a minute. Is Andrew the pizza delivery guy?
No, Sardo would be the pizza delivery guy.
So Andrew is the perp?
Yeah, I'm run down the hallway here.
So we get Super Sardo from Sardo's Pizza delivering, and then Andrew is running from the police.
Yes.
And then Sardo sticks his leg out, and Andrew goes flying into a car bumper.
I would have volunteered myself for this, but after that Spicoli comment, I'm putting you up, Andrew.
Phenomenal video. You got to take a look at the story. Go to mjmorningshow.com and click on videos mentioned on the MJ Morning Show. All right, 2 things with my cell phone recently. Before I reveal, I'm just going to ask you guys, Froggy, Fester, Roxanne, Andrew, have any of you guys experienced any activity on your cell phone lately of note?
A lot more telemarketing calls.
Okay. That is one. Now, they dropped off for a long time. I was not getting any of the spam telemarketing call. It completely stopped.
Well, my carrier labels them potential spam,
right?
So I know not to pick it up.
Again, I get. Are you Verizon?
I am.
Yeah, so we're both Verizon. So I do get some of these potential spams.
Not all of them say it, though.
Exactly.
Yeah, right.
But a bunch of them are getting through, and the ones that are getting through, it's this whole COVID-related employee retention deal. You could get $26,000 per employee. And, those TV commercials are all over TV. Innovative refunds, this, that. There are like 5 different commercials running. All these companies that are like, hey, if you've got a business with at least 5 employees or whatever the hell the criteria was, that if you retain them during COVID, that you could get $26,000. Hey, the average refund, the average amount that businesses are getting are over $200,000. Where's this money coming from?
Yeah.
I just dropped off a check to the IRS at the post office yesterday.
You're paying for it.
Yeah.
Man.
I mean, where's this money coming from? So the commercials are all over TV, and now I'm getting these phone calls, and if I don't recognize the number, I don't pick up. It goes to voicemail, and it's like this automated, it's a message, and they're trying to make it sound like it's a real person, but it's a recording. It's like, hey, it's Jessica again. I just wanted to get back to you about the employee retention money, and I want to remind you could get up to, and it's a recording, but they're trying to fool you to make it sound like it's a real person, and it's not a recording. So I'm getting blasted. It's like every day I'm getting these calls, and those are unsolicited calls. I mean, they're subject to, what is it, thousands of dollars of fines per phone call per individual. So I don't know if people are identifying them and if folks are going after them. So that's number one. The other, are you guys getting anything else on your cell phones of note lately?
Yes.
What?
Netflix is canceling Netflix password, or no, what is it? I get messages from Netflix all the time. They're suspending my account.
All right, but it's not really Netflix.
Right.
You're getting a phishing scam. All right, that's not what I'm getting. I'm getting quick text messages like, "Hey, how you doing?"
Yeah, hoping you reply back to engage you.
So what's the game there? So here's one from yesterday. Let me go to my text. And it was just like, hey, like I'm going to respond. I don't know who the hell you are. Hey.
Yeah, I've gotten a few of those.
But I'm getting a lot of these all of a sudden.
And it comes from a real 10-digit number.
Yeah.
Why don't you say, hey, hay's for horses?
No, I'm not responding.
Dude, I know a guy who says that, and he's such a tool.
I'm not responding. But what I'd like to know, do we have any listeners that are responding to these out of nowhere texts from numbers that you don't know who they are? I'd like to hear from people that are getting these messages, and have you responded? And then where does this lead? What is the game? What are they trying to extract from you? 800-990-1047. So I've had a series of these. Hey, what are you doing? One yesterday was just, hey. Then another one is, how are you? I've gotten like all of these in the last week, but it's been happening for a couple of weeks now. If you've gotten these messages and you responded back, what happened next? What's the trick here? What's the gimmick? What's the ruse? What's the game? What's the wambuki? Buzz us up. Let us know. 800-990-1047.
I mean, they're obviously trying to get you to reply back.
Yeah,
but what would that do if you just replied?
Well, that's the question.
And then it's like, hey, then are you selling your property or do you need a service or something?
But also, similar things like on social media. I'm getting a ton of these, for instance, on Instagram. And it's like some attractive woman with like 3 or 4 like suggestive pictures or poses.
Right.
And they'll slip into my DM and it's like, hey. And sometimes they'll even comment on things in my posts. Like I had like, for whatever reason, there's a whole run There's a whole run of like, it's like women from Singapore. And I'm getting like on social media, on Instagram, there's like this very hot, attractive Asian woman. And it looks like she's in Singapore. And she's got all these pictures of her with luxury goods, like with Chanel purses, Louis Vuitton purses, eating like at expensive restaurants. And then that account slips into my DM and it's like, oh, I saw the picture of your dog. It's so cute. What's his name? I'm like, what the heck? What are you contacting me for? Or then I'll get, hey, I'm looking for a serious relationship. And, then they say, hey, hit me up on my WhatsApp. Have you gotten these things? It's like, hit me up on my WhatsApp. So a couple of like scams. So texting and then the social media things. So what's going on? All right, Grant is in St. Pete. Phone's loaded here, by the way. Every line just lit up. If you want to try to get in when a line opens, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. All right, Grant, it says on my screen you can explain the text out of nowhere. Hey, what's going on, scam?
Yeah, it's a good one. It's, oh, I thought I knew you. And then you go back and forth, and then they always want to switch it over to the WhatsApp. I don't know why, but they prefer WhatsApp. And then it turns into a cryptocurrency. Hey, I've got this great investment. But, they send you the picture of the nice-looking Asian. It's always a hot Asian chick.
Yeah, I've noticed that a lot lately. Like,
that really works. That really works for me.
Yeah, smoking hot Asian babes. Yep.
Yeah. I play along with, I like this, try to scam scammers. I'm the guy that sends the hairy ass picture for the Western Union.
So you're saying Grant, that a lot of these go back to some kind of crypto deal.
It is. It always seems to be the crypto thing. Oh, I got to see my uncle this afternoon, so I'm going to be late in contacting.
So the hot Asian pics that I'm getting in my DMs or the messages that then I can see came from a hot Asian babe's account, that's all crypto as well?
Yep.
All right, buddy. Thanks for the call. Logan is in Tampa. Hello, Logan. You're on the MJ Morning Show.
Hello, crew. So mine started off with something like they sent me a text message, and they said something like, oh, well, I forget, this package hasn't been sent, and I never received, and it said it was delivered. And then I was like, well, I never sent a package, so where is this coming from? And then it just went dead silence for one whole week. And then she comes back and says, "Oh, well, besides that, can we get to know each other?"
Oh, yeah.
And then she sends a photo of her, and then it's like some Chinese woman, and I'm like, what is going on? It didn't go to WhatsApp, but I mean, she was just start off from one thing and led to another. So
Yeah, then they're going to probably try to milk you out of money or something. Logan, thanks for the call. Shannon is in Tampa. Hey, Shannon, you're on the MJ Morning Show.
Yes, hi.
Hi there.
I get a lot of ones from Facebook Messenger, and it just so happens previously before I got the message, that, there was a video of us doing karaoke, and then the next day I get a message, "Hey, is this you in the video?" And I clicked on it, and of course it was a scam, so then I got blocked from Facebook and had to prove it was me.
Oh, jeez. Yeah.
I get a lot of those.
Yeah. So, again, the rackets, there's always some kind of new invention. So I just mentioned the text racket, and also I'm getting the social media racket. But according to Grant, it all goes back to like some kind of a crypto scam. Thank you, Shannon. Have a great day. Let's grab Mike in Clearwater. Mike, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hello.
Hey, how's it going?
Go ahead.
I get the message says, "How you doing?" or "Hi there."
Yep.
And then I was right back, who is this? Like, I lost their number or something. And then they write back and say, "Oh, can I have a picture?" And then they send a picture of themselves, and it's a hot Asian girl.
Yep.
And then I mess with them, and I'll send them a picture of, like, Nicolas Cage headshot. And then they write back, and then they just stop hitting me, and I just figure that it's going to be some kind of dating thing. But it could be crypto, like Grant said.
Yeah.
But it usually stops when I send them the Nicolas Cage picture. But I've been getting them for like 3 weeks.
Or you send him the picture of that big fat guy in like the Monty Python movie where he blows up after eating just one after dinner mint.
Yes.
Waffle thin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to eat one more bit.
Thank you, Mike. Have a great one. Amanda's in Wesley Chapel. Hey, Amanda.
Hey, how are ya?
We're well. Go ahead.
So I get the same exact thing. However, I don't get a hot Asian picture. What I have been getting, though, is an American soldier. He's a veteran, and he's holding his guns, and he's, trying to get my attention. And I usually send back, like, a picture of a horse's ass or something, something great like that.
I send back a little picture of a gerbil wang.
Ooh.
It's all the same, and once they see that you're not reeling into their game, they usually move on.
Yeah, it's probably it's a game of numbers. They send out thousands of these things. It's probably automated, so a computer sends out tens of thousands of these, and if they get 3 or 4 suckers a day out of 10,000, it can pay off. Amanda, thanks for the call. John is in Dover. I wish we'd have Ben from Dover. Yeah. Hey, John in Dover. Go ahead, John.
How you doing, buddy?
Yes.
Long time listener ever since it was MJ and BJ. You guys are amazing.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So I actually got this one not that long ago, and me and my wife, we kind of had fun with it for a little bit until they started acting like they got mad. And somehow, I don't know if they went on one of my other social medias and pulled a picture of me, but they sent me a picture of my dog, and then they started acting like, "Oh, I know who you are," and this, that, and the other. And it got a little heated. And then when I finally said, "Look, I acted as if I was a cop or, trying to scare them or whatever," all of a sudden the number went dead.
Yeah. Hey, and by the way, don't get caught impersonating an officer.
Yeah, easy on that. Okay?
Yeah, definitely, I understand that.
Right. You don't have a blue light on your dashboard, do you?
No.
They're
purple and orange.
Just checking out. Hey, John, thanks for the call.
All right, buddy. You guys be safe.
You too. Have a great day.
Cop impersonator.
Hey, Andrew, the 3 that are on hold, and I got to move on. Quickly, Marco, Apollo Beach. Hey, Marco, MJ Morning Show. You're on.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Hey.
I've been getting lately, this kind of frequently, texts from something like, for example, "Hi, this is Emily. We met at the park." And I'm like, "What?" And then all of a sudden, I'm like, "I don't know who you are." It's like, "Oh, my God, my secretary must have sent the text to the wrong person." And I'm like, "Oh, I'm so okay, no problem." Then all of a sudden, "But still, how are you? You sound like a kind man."
Oh, yeah.
And then from that point on, it's like, "Can we meet?" what is your name? And that's it. I'm like, oh, Lord, scam.
Yeah, and then they're going to hit you up for money. Thank you, Marco.
You do sound like a kind man, Marco.
AJ in West Chase. Hello, AJ.
Hey, MJ, how's it going there?
Going well.
So, I host a podcast, and this is one of the topics I want to talk about. I got text message. It was a regular text message on the iMessage saying, hey, Amanda, whatever the girl's name was, you didn't call me back. You changed my number. Well, I responded back, I'm sorry. I'm not Amanda. I said, enjoy your day. Well, then she says, well, then, you seem like a nice guy. My name is Sally, whatever her name is.
Yeah, they're fishing, and then they try to flip it around and then hook you. Yep.
Right.
AJ, are we on your podcast right now? Did you say you host a podcast?
You're not. No, unfortunately not right now. I'm not recording right now. I'm just listening to the show, getting ready for work.
Yeah, but AJ would love to have Roxanne as a guest.
A friend of mine, Chapel, got the same thing, but he took the conversation further, and they start giving him links. So it's a phishing scam, maybe malware. They want you to click on here. And
next thing you know, they're taking over your banking apps and draining your bank account. Yeah.
Exactly. So, it's everybody, like everybody said in your show so far.
AJ, thanks for the call. Last call, we got to move on. Jayla is in Lakeland. Hey, Jayla.
Hi, good morning.
Morning.
Mine's not a text message. I've been getting from like McHappy and Geek Squad, but I get an email of a receipt where they charged my account for $400 and something.
Yeah, that's an old scam where you get an invoice, you get an email, you get a text, that the charge was just approved for $500, and then you freak out, then you click on links. Next thing you know, they get all kinds of spyware, malware, they're ripping you off. Yeah. Yeah.
I replied and I said, screw you. That was it. I didn't click on nothing. But that was new to me. I've never really received those kind before.
Yeah, I've seen those for years. At least 10 years. You get like bogus invoices. You're like, or, your credit card payment of $597.12 has just been approved for Best Buy. And then you're like, oh my God, I didn't do it. And then there are links. You click on this. Next thing you know, you're in life takeover hell. So, Jayla, thanks, Jayla.
Thank you, guys. Bye.
Have a great one. There is a nutty item about a Major League pitcher's wife that was forced to clean up popcorn on the airplane floor on her hands and knees while pregnant. Did you see this, guys?
Who would do that to a pregnant
I
woman?
saw the picture of her in her seat. Does he pitch for the Blue Jays?
He does. So, hey, Roxanne.
He pitches for the Maple Leafs, actually.
All right.
Nice callback.
Listen.
So
Roxanne makes no qualms about it. She's a baseball girl.
Yeah. Yes, you're about to say something.
This story's ridiculous. Like, I look at it one hand, whenever you leave with your kids somewhere, it should be cleaner than when you got there. You should try to make it that way. But what they did was outrageous.
This is Blue Jays pitcher Anthony Bass, who has a big problem with United Airlines right now. Went on Twitter, the 35-year-old Major League pitcher alleges that a flight attendant on a United Airlines flight made his pregnant wife get on the floor to pick up the mess made by his 2-year-old daughter. So here's the tweet. The flight attendant at United just made my 22-week pregnant wife traveling with a 5-year-old and 2-year-old get on her hands and knees to pick up the popcorn mess by my youngest daughter. Are you kidding me? Now, Bass's wife is Sydney Ray James, who is the sister of that Jesse James Decker. What's her deal? Is she like a sports model or what is, for all you should know this?
Jesse James.
Jesse James Decker. Why have I seen like Sports Illustrated pictures? Who the hell is Jesse James Decker?
I don't know.
I thought that guy built motorcycles.
That's Jesse James.
No, this is a female. Maybe hold on. Jesse James Decker is an American country pop singer. Maybe it's a country singer. But I thought there was like a Jesse Decker. I thought
had
there was
a reality show for a little while.
Yeah.
There's a Brooklyn Decker.
Oh, maybe that's who I'm thinking of. Anyway, so, this is crazy. And the story goes that the captain allegedly told the flight attendant, make the passenger pick up all the popcorn. This is crazy.
All right. United.
So there are the pictures, Fester. You see the popcorn
Yeah,
scattered?
Yeah.
And it's not that bad.
There's
No,
two
it's
kids
not.
on their tablet, and there's, a handful of popcorn on the ground.
I mean,
It's almost like, she dropped not even a whole bag, just a little bit out of the popcorn.
the kids are going to make a mess. I mean, as a parent, do your best to try to contain it. If you can. I think it's kind of rude. You ever see a restaurant where they got like a kid that just throws everything on the floor? You ever notice like the high chair at a restaurant? Sometimes the floor is like a bomb went off.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like the cost of doing business. You have a kid at the restaurant, you can just expect the kids are going to, chuck stuff all over the floor. And Andrew wants me to grab line 6. Hi, good morning, MJ Morning Show. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, hi, it's MJ and the crew. What's up?
Hey, guys, long-time listener. I just wanted to point out that just because you're pregnant does not give you the right to not pick up after your child. Like, this is ridiculous. Pick up after your damn kid.
Well, listen, and you know what? I in principle, I don't disagree with you. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm sure my kids made a mess on airplanes. I'm going to tell you right now that if it were my kid making a mess, that I would clean the floor. If it meant having to get on my hands and knees on a United 737, I would do it. I think that it's rude. It's not nice for the whole cabin to be messed up with popcorn. I would personally do it. But again, the flight attendant, I think the point is that the woman was pregnant, has 2 other kids.
That doesn't mean anything.
But could the flight attendant have helped out in picking up, in the picture, what are there, like 15 pieces of popcorn on the ground?
It's a handful of popcorn.
Right.
It's not a bag full. And United Airlines provided the popcorn. It's not like they brought their own snacks on the plane and then made the mess. The kids spilled what you gave them. I can understand.
How do you know that United...
Because I know this because I follow a series of texts from Anthony Bass.
So it was one of the snack offerings was popcorn?
I've never seen popcorn on a flight.
Hold on a minute.
Somebody
First of all, I don't know if you're supposed to give popcorn to a kid that's 2 years old. What's the popcorn? There's a popcorn age.
Yeah, there's a popcorn age.
Popcorn age.
People, I'm not stringent with my popcorn age, but there are a lot of people that will not give them. I have friends who have 4-year-olds. They're like, no, I don't want them to choke.
Because it's a choking hazard. Hey, thanks for the call. No, you make a very good point that, ultimately, yes, clean up after your kids. I think it's the demand that the flight attendant said, the captain says, get on your hands and knees and clean up this mess. And, the woman's pregnant with 2 kids. Should the flight attendant have helped out and recognized that, listen, traveling with 2 kids might be a little difficult?
Hey, I used to do it. You just pick up after your kid. Like, it's just because you're pregnant still doesn't give you the right just to be self-entitled and think that you don't have to pick up after your kids.
All right, and then, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Look at the phones are lighting up here. But then this Jesse James Decker, the sister of the pregnant sister to the Major League pitcher for the Blue Jays, she's weighing in. So Jesse James Decker, if we establish she's a country music...
according to Google.
Run down the hall and yell at the QYK folks. See if they have any Jesse James Decker.
Apparently she's Conway Twitty's granddaughter?
Really?
No, that's not true.
Oh, what are you making crap up?
He's
always working
He's the
Conway.
only country guy I know.
Yeah,
Conway Twitty.
Conway Twitty.
I have no idea.
So now Jesse James Decker is now slamming United Airlines as well for humiliating her pregnant sister midair.
Did you say how pregnant she was?
22 weeks.
22 weeks, yeah. And apparently Bass sent out subsequent tweets that United has been in communication with him. They're going to work it out. They're going to work with the flight attendant to make sure she doesn't have pregnant ladies pick up popcorn again.
Well, apparently one of the workarounds is that they're going to throw the popcorn back on the airplane floor and then the flight attendant will pick it up.
That's the only solution.
We're going to have a do-over of this whole event.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Who's this? Line 2.
Hello?
Yeah, good morning. Who's this?
Hey, this is John. I'm a long-time listener. Called in quite a few times with you.
Yeah, sorry, John. My call screener was not up. I don't know why Fester closes it every
Because we
freaking
actually
time.
do research on this computer. I know you're going to click
But
a
you
bunch-
don't have to close this. Just minimize
you're
the
taking
screener.
a bunch of calls.
All right, John and Lutz. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I got to agree, man. If your kid makes a mess, clean up after your kid. I've raised 4 kids of my own, and I clean up after mine.
Hey, listen, so do
Good
we.
point.
I know that our kids have made a mess on an airplane, and I never leave crap all over the place. I don't like to leave like a wrapper in the seat pocket in front of me. I like to clean things up. I don't. They turn these planes around. The cleaning crews are kind of very cursory. I don't want a passenger after me to have like a slovenly experience. So, John, thanks for the call. I appreciate it.
You can carry it over to restaurants too. And I try, like I said, I try to make it nicer than, not nicer when we got there. I can't reset the table, but at least make sure they're, it's easy for the person who has to come in and clean up. But sometimes I'm like, okay, well, we got to run out of the restaurant. Like, what were the extenuating circumstances? Did they have another flight to catch? Were they standing in people's way? Would it have made more sense for her to just gather her little rugrats and get off the plane, or stand there and try to pick up popcorn and hold up the rest of the plane?
Well, I know that when we were parents of our younger kids at the time, I know that our kids were among those little monsters that were sitting in the high chair, and just 90% of what they were eating ended up on the floor. Yeah. And I know that there were times where I'd be trying to clean it up, and the server would say, "Oh, don't worry, hon, I got that." Something like that.
Don't worry about that, sugar britches. I'll take care of that.
Where are you taking the kids? Like the
Mel's Diner?
Cracker Barrel in Nashville or something?
No, I'm telling you. Hang on. What's
Excuse me,
what's
Flo?
today? Today is Tuesday. Michelle, let me... Michelle might be on her way to her workout. Let me call her cell phone. But I know there were times where we were like cleaning up the mess on the floor under the high chair.
Hello?
Hey, sweetie, are you on the way to work out?
I am.
Yeah, I hear the outside sound, and I hear that you're walking fast. Hey, so are you listening to the show on like the app?
I am.
All right, so you're here where we're talking about. Weren't there times when our kids just made a freaking mess on the floor at a restaurant, and like most of everything on their tray ended up on the floor?
Never.
Come on, no, I know for a fact.
Never.
I know
Never.
for a fact that I think I remember saying to a server, "Hey, do you want me to clean that up?" And they would say, "Oh no, we got it."
Never.
Oh, great. So
Never.
now our
Never.
kids
Never.
are angels.
Never.
They've done nothing wrong ever, right?
You are imagining things because, first of all, we rarely put our kids in those high chairs because you were so disgusted by them, right? It was so seldom that they actually sat in the chair. And this is how we disciplined our kids. When we went to Tahitian Inn one morning with your parents for breakfast, and Chloe misbehaved, she was all of like 2.5. We didn't even have Julian yet. And the minute that time you did plop her down in one of those chairs, we wiped it out, you put her in it, and she started misbehaving a little bit, and you turned her seat around. She didn't get to sit at the table technically with us. Her punishment was that. So our kids did not misbehave in a restaurant.
What, are you kidding me? She got to sit with another family? That's awesome.
I faced her somewhere else.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Essentially.
That was one thing. But, Michelle, I don't think we made a habit.
Well, maybe it was you, but not me.
Those wooden high chairs that are like ubiquitous everywhere, those things have got to be dirtier than like a sewage treatment plant. I mean, those things must be...
The wooden ones?
Yeah. Those things must be filthy.
So foul.
But I know that we have used those in the past with the kids. And, Michelle, I can see it in my head that there was some place, I can't remember, somewhere in South... What?
Sweet tomatoes.
Hey, you know what? It might have been sweet tomatoes.
Yeah, that was your go-to place forever.
It might have been sweet tomatoes, but I know we were at several places where food was all over the floor, and we felt bad, and I think we even like attempted to clean it up, and in most cases, like, oh, don't worry about it, I got it.
That must have been when you dined alone, not with me.
Yeah, okay. Yes. I did a lot of dining alone with the kids with high chairs.
Table for 3.
Oh, you know what it was?
What?
We went for sushi, I bet, because that is when you took them by yourself.
No, they didn't throw sushi on the floor. I'd break their little
there
knuckles.
They didn't do it. Oh, yeah.
All
right, Michelle. Have a good workout.
Michelle has like this delusion of her having like angel children. I don't know where that's coming from, Mom.
You know, our kids were pretty good, but I'm telling you, there were numerous times where they made a freaking mess on the floor in the restaurant, and I think we attempted to clean it up.
They're good kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, yeah, they are. They turned out to be pretty good kids. All right, when we get back.
Oh, when we get back, intermittent fasting. You promised that yesterday. This is the tease police
you
telling you that you didn't get to it.
I think I've teased this I teased this while you were on vacation last week.
4 days old.
And I keep forgetting to do the story. All right, will you hold me to it first thing up?
Yes.
There's an update on celebrity intermittent fasting, and we'll get into that in just a second. Oh, also, speaking of Michelle, I don't know if she's, you know what? What time is it? All right, I'll do, maybe she won't be in the workout. Maybe I'll be able to call her in like just a few minutes. There's something else that she saw this particular story in my pile last night, and she's like, I've been trying to get you to do this for years. Why won't you do this with me? And I know it's going to gross all of you guys out.
Oh.
You know what? I probably ought to do it now because she's not going to be available. Hang on a minute. We're going to go late here for a second. Hang on. All right, hang on a minute. So, in my pile, there's a story that Paris Hilton.
Hello?
Yeah, I want to talk to you before you get to the gym to work out, all right?
Well, you better be quick, buddy.
I
Yeah,
know.
buddy. Let's
All right.
go, pal.
So, I'm talking about the story you saw in my pile last night. Paris Hilton credits bubble baths every night for her spark with her husband, Carter.
Oh, now you're into it.
I didn't say I was into it, but when you saw this story in my pile last night, you're like, I've been trying to get you to take a bubble bath with me for years.
What? And you don't do that? Doing a bubble bath is just doing it.
I mean, that's like the precursor to everything.
Okay, Froggy. When was the last time you were in a bubble bath with Kim?
I don't even have a tub that I fit in. Too fat.
Yes, Michelle.
And you were like, I don't take baths. And I said to you, the idea isn't really,
Yeah.
like we're taking a bath.
Yeah, it's not to get yourself clean. Whoa.
And then
I can't imagine sitting in my own filth.
His second line of defense was, you don't even have any bubble bath stuff.
And then she said, yes, I do. Yeah.
All right.
I could just think of Fester in a bath like President Taft.
Dude, listen.
I'm not asking you to think of Fester in a bath when you're in a bubble bath.
Didn't they have to put a bigger bath in the White House because of President Taft?
They did. He took baths all the time. Michelle, listen, first of all, if you want to think of me in a bathtub, it's like 3 islands in a stream. One's my face.
Oh, stop it.
One's my gut.
Okay.
There's this very small island.
There you stop it. All right. Michelle,
Yeah.
if you want me to take a bubble bath with you, maybe sometime soon.
Okay, yeah. That sounds real committing.
Yeah,
Hold on.
really.
What was that sound?
Are you hanging out with a robot?
It sounded like a lightsaber from Star Wars. What was that?
It's a leaf blower. I'm walking
Oh.
past a lawn guy who very kindly shut it down when I ran past him.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the leaf blower guys that blow it all over your car when you go by.
Ask the leaf blower if he wants to take a bubble bath.
All right, Michelle, have a good workout.
All right, I will.
Watch out for that white van in Beach Park that's apparently trying to kidnap women.
I'm looking for it.
All right, goodbye.
Okay, bye.
If you don't know that story, you know what? I think I have.
Is there an update?
You know,
has anybody been caught or?
You know, I think I have the number of the mother. Maybe we should call her up and see if there's any update to that. Yeah, because we had a story last week about, I heard an item like third hand that there was a white van that tried to abduct the jogger in Beach Park like a week ago. And I told the story on the air. I'm like, I don't know if this is real. And then the mother of the 17-year-old Plant High School student says, yeah, that was my daughter. And then a neighbor was able to kind of break things up and disrupt it by pulling out of their driveway. So kind of a crazy story. All right, stand by. 8:48, MJ Morning Show. We're back in minutes. Don't move. It's the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. MJ Morning Show on Q105. MJ with Roxanne and Fester and Froggy. And Roxanne, what is the first thing we're going to do right now?
We have to intermittently fast.
So the intermittent fasting story, every once in a while, I kick a story to the curb. I'll mention it, I'll tease it, and then for whatever reason, we get all embroiled and tied up in something else, and maybe I'll tease it again for the next day, then I'll forget. Anyway, sometimes we've got these kind of like the burned French fries that sit in the bottom of the fryer at the fast food restaurant. It's like they're all day, and then finally someone gets it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I don't know that I would compare our segments to the nasty burnt French fries that somebody ultimately ends up with.
Here's the deal. And Roxanne, I brought this up last week first when you were not here, and maybe that's why I've just subconsciously delayed this, because I figured that you'd want to be part of this discussion.
Oh, I do. Thank you.
Yeah, the intermittent fasting trend that has been pushed and endorsed, and we hear about so many celebrities that do intermittent fasting. Well, there is new research here. Jennifer Aniston, Nicole Kidman, Cameron Diaz, Mark Wahlberg are some of the names that are associated with like intermittent fasting, but there are others. But there are new research, or there is new research out that the intermittent fasting is linked to fertility problems. Yeah.
Good thing that's not an issue for me anymore.
Yeah, so fertility problems could be increased if you do the intermittent fasting game. So just a heads up on that. So I don't know if you're having fertility problems, if you're not able to get pregnant, any chance that you're doing any intermittent fasting, that you're not providing nutrients to your body on a regular basis, and you're going, kind of, dark for a little bit, you're not eating, intermittent fasting, it could be the cause of your fertility issues. So just heads up. So there we go. We've now done the intermittent fasting fertility story.
Okay.
There is a follow-up. There was a story from last week. I think it was last Tuesday. And it was a crazy item that happened at 301 and MLK First. So there was a minor little fender bender. I think two bumpers touched at like 301 and MLK in Tampa. And then it moves a little further down the road, and it turns out it's over near Hillsborough and Orient that a man and a woman get out of the car that was involved in the minor little car wreck, and they start bashing and smashing on this woman's car. I mean, doesn't she jump on the hood? The woman,
I see video of them bashing the glass, and it doesn't crack, but they take a bunch of good whacks at it.
All right, this is crazy. So the story happened. It was road rage beyond belief. It was caught on video. Somebody was rolling, I guess, a cell phone video on this. The FHP has been looking for the perps involved in this. But the video, you can see them smashing and trashing this other car. They're trying to bust the windows out. Keep in mind, they're stopped at like an intersection. They're stopped at a traffic light, and they're trying to wreck the other car, the lady that was involved.
In the last few minutes, the news has broken.
That's what I'm getting to.
Okay, good.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that right now. So we have breaking news, folks. A woman has been arrested as one of the participants in the road rage incident right near the Hard Rock at Hillsborough and Orient. And an arrest has been made according to FHP. It happened on April 12th, where the FHP posted video of two individuals attacking this Brandon woman in her vehicle. And the video was taken by just another motorist, and it showed Shania Faith Cofield. Oh, my God, Cofield.
No relation.
Cofield. I'm hoping that it's not like Peter Cofield, who did the MJ Morning Show song.
Time to get up, get out of bed. Let a radio genius climb into your head. Get a totally unpredictable start to your day. Get your daily dose of MJ.
That's Peter Cofield. And then it turns out the perp, the lady's name that's smashing the other motorist's car,
Potentially a distant relative?
Shania Faith Cofield.
Must be a relative.
Also, Peter Allen McLaren
Oh my God, another Peter.
of
He must know Peter Cofield.
Oh my God! It's Peter Cofield.
That's funnier than any McLaren joke.
MJ, start your heart with MJ.
He takes a crazy world and spins it round and round.
Everybody is getting down with the sound of MJ.
Morning show got promotion and commotion. Everything you want to know at the MJ Morning Show.
MJ, time to get the party started. Getting ready, let's go to the MJ Morning Show.
Go.
There is a lot of promotion and commotion in this road rage that Peter Cofield is singing about. And
So
participating in.
arrests have been made. So they got the woman, and they're trying to smash this Brandon woman's windows out, yelling for the driver to get out of the car. The woman was recorded, said, y'all going to jail, stop. So the woman who was recording said that. Trooper said before the events of the video that the suspects fired at the woman after a minor crash.
Fired at her?
Yeah, according to Channel 8, Sergeant Steve Gaskins with the Florida Highway Patrol told Channel 8 that the woman sped off after being shot at. So they even fired a gun at her car.
She must have been.
And then they caught. They're right there. She's on top of the hood. Look at that.
Trying to smash in the windshield.
Right. So the woman, the Shania Faith Cofield, jumps on the woman's hood and is jumping on her windshield, trying to bash her windshield in. Right at the intersection of Hillsborough and Orient.
Shania.
Must be a country music fan.
I told you I thought she jumped on the car and was going nuts. So the Florida Highway Patrol said a situation like this is very scary, very terrifying for the victims in the case. The best advice, call 911, remain calm. Trooper said Cofield was arrested last night, but that McLaren is still at large.
Yeah, not for long.
Yeah, because it's just a matter of time before...
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
The Florida Highway Patrol tracks you down.
What you gonna do when they come for you?
I'll tell you what, right now, you know what they say on Cops? They say that Cops is filmed on location with the men and women of law enforcement. All suspects innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. I don't think they need to be... I'm telling you right now, they're guilty.
I mean, if I'm the prosecutor, I just roll this tape and shut up. And
I'm doing summary judgment right now.
Arrest.
Shania and Peter McLaren, they are guilty as charged. I'm sending them to Stark for 10 years.
If anybody likes watching police cam videos, I found a new YouTube page channel yesterday.
Yeah, of course you did.
Police Activity.
Yeah.
Oh, so great. Nothing but cams.
So we have an update that road rage incident. We have at least the woman in custody, and it's not going to be long before they track down the guy.
Oh, Cofield's going to roll over on McLaren.
That's in trouble. You fire a gun at a car, that's absolute prison time.
Yeah.
That is, and I'd like to know, the Shania Faith, what's her face?
Cofield.
Cofield? Yeah. Does she have I wonder if she has a previous record. I wonder if she's already had a problem.
I'm going to go with yeah.
Yeah, you think so?
No, she's been an angel up until this day.
You want to know another crazy story?
Of course.
We've talked about this. How many? Maybe 2 or 3 times. And maybe you can remember why. We talked about that phony hitman website.
Yeah.
It's so phony, it's a joke.
Right. And I think we've talked about it because we've had probably morons in the news stories where people actually went to the Rent a Hitman website to try to rent a hitman. And what happens, the guy that runs the website, Rent a Hitman, when somebody tries to hire a hitman from the website and they leave their name, their contact information, phone number, email, this guy turns it over to the police that, hey, there is really someone that's trying to hire a hitman to get someone bumped off.
Fester's on the site right now. The best line is their tagline: "The dark web is not safe, but we are."
It's very reassuring. I feel very comfortable.
People
on
get
this site.
busted with this.
Yeah, it's a Rent a Hitman website. It's actually rentahitman.com. And it's a phony parody site. But people really go to this site to try to hire a hitman. And in the latest story, do you guys know where this is going? Have you heard this?
No.
An Air National Guardsman this has nothing to do with the big leak out of Massachusetts. Another Air National Guardsman applied to be a hitman on this website.
Is there an employment tab? You see here.
Apparently sent
Careers.
sent the message.
Oh, because you get busted for that too if you apply to be a hitman.
Rent a Hitman career. Did your high school guidance counselor, parents, or neighbors ever tell you that you would never amount to anything? It's time to prove them all wrong by becoming the individual you always knew you could be. A field operative with the world's best problem resolution organizations.
Yes.
My God. So this story broke last week. I just didn't get around to it, but I knew we had to do it because we've talked about the Rent a Hitman and the boneheads that actually try to rent a hitman, and they end up getting arrested for trying to rent a hitman.
This is everything you need: name, phone number, email, address.
There's a whole form. It's like people are really putting all of their real information on this thing.
Yeah, why they want to kill the person, or why they want the person killed, I should say.
No,
So their motive is there as well.
This isn't the hiring of a hitman. This is the field operative.
MJ, act like you want to hit them and see what happens.
Oh, I'm sorry. Only one person at a time. What'd you say, Froggy?
Act like you email them and say you want to hit done and see what happens.
Yeah.
See if like, just say it's a joke.
Yeah, the police.
Let's apply for a job.
Yeah.
Fester,
you know
you
what?
could pull it off.
Fester should do it. And
put on a suit.
But we have clear proof that we're doing this as a bit on the MJ Morning Show and that we're not really applying for a hitman job to rub somebody out. Now, listen to this. Here's why I'm doing the story. Is a Tennessee Air National Guardsman was arrested last week for applying for the job. The form that Fester's on right now, guy filled it out. Josiah Ernesto Garcia, 21, was charged with the use of interstate facilities and the commission of murder for hire by using a fake hitman website, rentahitman.com. Garcia explored the site when he needed money to support his family and began searching online for contract mercenary jobs, according to the press release from the U.S. Attorney's Office in the Middle District of Tennessee. Garcia first made contact with the site on February 16th when he filled an employment inquiry form indicating he was interested in obtaining employment as a hitman. I mean, Fester is on the form right now.
This application is hysterical.
Fill it out, Fest.
All right, first of all, once he gets all your name and information, he says, what date can you start? What's your highest level of education? Can you drive a manual transmission? All of our getaway cars are stick shifts.
What is it?
Do you have a passport? What languages do you speak fluently? I mean, he goes on and on. Do you still have your natural teeth? 90% or more is preferred.
Natural teeth.
Are you experienced? Describe your qualifications. Any certificates?
Crazy.
The whole thing's a joke.
Yeah, certificates.
This guy applies for this, and he noted his military experience and rifle expertise in the form, also requesting an in-depth job description according to the court documents. The hitman, who was a wannabe, remained in contact with the website over the next several days, providing his Tennessee driver's license, a headshot, and a resume. I'm looking for a job that pays well related to my military experience, shooting and killing the marked target, so I can support my kid on the way. Yeah, good luck with that. He said with a follow-up email, according to the criminal complaint, what can I say? I enjoy doing what I do, so if I can find a job that is similar, such as this, quote, put me in, coach.
I'm ready to play. Today.
Put me in, coach. I'm ready to
play.
Ready to kill.
Ready to kill.
On his resume, listen to this. Garcia bragged about being an expert marksman, awarded for not missing a single bullseye on all of the targets for a shooting expert with 2 or more weapons.
That's impossible.
This guy was employed by the Air National Guard since July of 2021, claimed that he went by the nickname Reaper.
Reaper.
Which he earned from military experience and marksmanship.
Grim Reaper.
You got to be kidding me. So he sent follow-up emails.
This guy's really qualified.
The website got in touch with it. Listen, it gets even better. So the website owner then contacts the FBI, contacts law enforcement. Following an order from the FBI, the website's owner, Bob Innes, responded to Garcia saying, Josiah, a field coordinator, will be in touch in the near future. Josiah, the field coordinator, was an FBI agent.
Oh.
So they then meet the guy who wants to be a hitman and went to the rentahitman.com website. You'll be receiving a message when we are ready. Timing is based on client needs. An undercover FBI agent was assigned to pose as an agent for the website, contacted Garcia for a phone interview, led to them meeting in person where Garcia said he was looking into killing people for money for a while. On April 12th, Garcia was scheduled to meet with an undercover agent to discuss the potential target that would pay $5,000 for taking out the client's abusive husband.
It's a nice payday.
Garcia was given the first half of the payment along with images of the fake target. Upon receiving the payment, Garcia asked if photo evidence of the murder target was required before the FBI then made the arrest.
So great.
I mean, this is unbelievable. Following the arrest, FBI searched his home, recovered an AR-style rifle, said that he would use during the contract killings.
Wow, man, this is great. You're right. This is perfect.
There's even another element where the FBI agent said, yeah, do you mind maybe getting some trophies from the hit, like cutting off fingers and bringing them? I mean, it was crazy.
His biggest inspiration, Richard Kuklinski.
And he said, I would have no problem with that. You know, he was asked, would you have a problem cutting off some fingers or doing some mutilation, after you hit the target?
This guy's great. He would make more money joining the mafia.
This is crazy. Hey, find me. That was in a different story. Go to Google.
Okay.
The Reaper.
Yeah, go to Google and type in this guy's name, Josiah, Josiah, Garcia, and then type in Hitman, and then type in finger.
How about the Reaper?
Finger. I'll hit, because the actual line out of one of the stories I read was unbelievable. So go ahead, go to the top story, go to the top item, and then
I never heard of this site.
Yeah, Ars Technica is great.
Okay.
Yeah, Ars Technica is a great website, good tech website. But I wanted to get the exact quote from the FBI agent acting as like the Hitman website liaison, asking, hey, would you have a problem? Do you have it? Do you have the line?
Allegedly, he said he'd be comfortable taking fingers or ears as trophies.
Yeah, that's it.
And performing torture at a client's request.
So
it's like Mr. White.
The FBI agent said, hey, would you have a problem with taking fingers or ears as trophies?
Nope, no problem
as you
at
dance
all.
to K-Billy.
Hey, you want to hear something?
What?
There was a mob hit in my Uncle Jack's building back in the early 1980s. So my uncle lived in Queens, right along the Long Island Expressway.
All right.
So Long Island Expressway, and then there's a big intersection where, if you want to grab the Van Wyck, or some say the Van Wyck. So there's a couple of apartments, it's not Lefrak City, but there's a couple of apartment buildings right near that intersection in New York and Queens. And my uncle lived in that building for a number of years, and there was a mob hit in that building. And I remember this because my uncle said that, he was talking to like the NYPD detectives, he was talking, and he said, mob hit. And my uncle apparently said, how do you know? Oh, because one of the fingers was cut off and taken.
What's the matter with your uncle? Is he insane for talking?
No, he was talking to one of the NYPD detectives.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that was like an old.
He should have been like, I don't know.
I don't see anything happen.
That's like an old mob deal. Is like cutting off a finger after the hit.
My grandfather was recruited by the mob. He was a professional boxer.
Are you serious?
I promise, yeah. But he turned him down. Could have been a lot more successful.
Yeah, unfortunately.
There is no real Rent a Hitman website. Okay?
But this guy should really apply with a mafia family or even maybe a Russian mob.
You could be a made man right now if your grandfather would have made one different decision.
For real.
Be Froggy Trafficante over here.
Hey, Roxanne.
Mm-hmm.
You brought up something recently, and I want to suggest that maybe you use a condom.
What? Excuse me? Roxanne, should you be saying
hold on. Don't jump to conclusions.
Okay.
Don't jump to conclusions, Frog. Don't judge. Don't you judge me.
Judge free.
So, Roxanne, a condom. Hang on. It'll all make plenty of sense next.
I'm guessing it doesn't have to do with sex.
Listen, you can guess all you want. All right, hang on a minute. We'll explain next on the MJ Morning Show. Oh, and which burger chain says they're improving all of their hamburgers? Did you see that? Yeah, there's a pretty big, well-known name in burgers that says, hey, we're going to juice things up a little bit. We're going to improve our burgers.
Okay.
That and condoms all next. Hang on. We're loaded on the MJ Morning Show in minutes here on Q105. Weather... MJ with Froggy and Roxanne and Fester, and the final minutes of the MJ Morning Show here on a Tuesday. Quickly, I have a management meeting at 9:50 this morning. Andrew, that means I got to record the promo quickly for tomorrow, and I got to do quick studio cleanup because I'm typically in here till like 10 o'clock every morning, cleaning up while these guys are already scramming down MLK.
You stay so late.
All right, so here's so I do have to get out a little earlier because I'm meeting with Ron, the new general manager.
Good.
I'm meeting with Rick, the new operations guy.
All right. No.
And I'm meeting with Max, the chief engineer. Now, do you have any idea what I might be meeting with the gang about at 9:50? That's about, 20 minutes from right now?
Well, since Max is in the mix, then that makes me think it has something to do with the studio.
It does.
I think they're going to drop me and Fester. Is it about that?
Yeah, but here's the deal.
Never.
I called the meeting, and I've been pursuing this and pushing to get a date and a time.
Are they humoring you by
well,
meeting you?
that's the question.
Let's just meet with them and shut them up for 6 weeks.
That's what concerns me.
6 months.
So are they is this like a gratuitous meeting just to clam me the hell up? Because, listen, they promised that we'd get a new studio when we started here. October 5th of 2020.
Right.
We were told, yep, new studio's on the way, because when I came in here and I saw the studio, I'm like, I can't work in this hellhole. I mean, I said, this is
that was your exact words.
This is the worst radio studio I've ever seen in my life.
They're like, you will, actually.
Folks, it's to me, it's amazing. It's incredible that we can crank out this quality product out of this toilet every morning.
I could talk to my old college radio station, the 1620 WBUL, and see if we can broadcast out of there. They have a good setup.
It's probably better.
No. It is.
There's no problem.
Yeah.
We could maybe build a fort in one of our backyards, and it might be better.
Listen, it's not Beasley's fault. I mean, because
it's a little bit Beasley's fault.
They could have updated it sooner, but really, my problem goes back to CBS.
Sure,
because CBS Radio used to own these stations. The Beasleys bought the stations from CBS, and the CBS Maroons They built the worst studios ever.
Right.
They designed it this way. That's the crazy part.
Exactly. So you got a blank canvas to build a radio station, and you make studios the size of a matchbox? I mean, what are they thinking?
Maybe this was the diorama. It was supposed to be bigger, but they just made it this small.
Well, we need to relocate this studio in another part of the building so we can have a bigger studio, or we got to knock out a wall behind us. But it comes the width of the studios. These rooms needed to be 2 or 3 feet wider. So anyway, but listen, for you, the listener, I'm trying to improve the experience so we have a good-looking studio for you to see on MJTV, for all of our social media. I want to be proud of the video that you see and not say, oh, my God, look at these walls. Look at this studio. It looks like ass.
Okay. I mean, I wear a wrinkled shirt every day, so how proud can you be?
But, hey, the good news, listen, speak for yourself. The good news is...
you wear a T-shirt every day.
What do you want me to wear, a freaking suit in here? What do you want?
I want you to be proud of what I produce.
You want me to wear a tux?
Okay.
Look at his arms, Fester, all right?
I heard.
Here's the deal. I got a meeting with the 3 big wigs. I got engineering, programming, and the general manager, and I've got a list of demands.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Go in there and call them demands first. I've got demands.
Right, so I'll let you know tomorrow morning how the meeting went and whether they're just going, yeah, MJ, sure. Whether I just get a whole bunch of lip service.
I do a really, really great Max impression, by the way.
How's that?
Oh, you've done that before. Let's hear it again.
All right. Max, the engineer.
Well, MJ.
It's not that good.
Going to take a while. It's dead on. It's dead on. Dead on.
It literally sounded nothing like him.
Dude, I could be on corporate calls and Max could be out and they'll think Max is on the other line.
All right, Roxanne, let's talk about condoms.
Oh, let's.
You brought up something, and we had already talked about the story, and it was about not using those public charging stations for your cell phones. And you had sent me a note, oh, my God, I just found this story about the FBI warning, don't use public charging stations, the USB charging.
Yeah, I read that story.
At the airport or the hotel. Now, you sent me the story over the weekend, but we had already done the story last week.
Oh,
So,
okay.
yeah, we had already, we talked about this already.
For those who haven't heard this discussion, I'm
Roxanne will give you
going on a
original
play-by-play.
original
Yes.
reaction.
Original shock and disbelief.
Oh, really?
You're right.
We talked about this yesterday.
So
I know.
we talked about it last week, and you sent me a note. Oh my God, I charged my phone in my hotel all weekend.
By the way, I love your Roxanne voice. Fester's is too like Valley Girl-ish, but
Right.
yours I like. Go ahead, continue in Roxanne voice.
No, I'm just telling the story now. Now, if you use your regular block charger and you plug it into a regular wall outlet at an airport or in a hotel where they have, if they have those mass charging stations, like at the airport, it's like the USB Connect, the charging, and it's a whole station where it's like a table or it's a round circular kiosk looking thing, and you like plug your USB in and you charge your phone. The FBI is saying don't use those through USB. A regular AC wall outlet with your block charger, that's fine. So you in the hotel, if you use the block charger, you're okay. But you said you did plug your phone into a lamp.
I did.
Because sometimes the hotel lamps have the USB things, and those things tend to charge like a turtle.
They do.
Because you need the 20, 30 watts of the charger to fast charge your phone.
It takes if your phone is dead, it takes like 15 minutes.
It's for it to come on.
Yeah.
That's why you need the block charger. But with your case, I don't think you had anything to worry about by plugging your USB into the lamp. It's more these public charging stations where the FBI is warning that nefarious individuals have been able to co-opt or to corrupt these and be able to introduce malware into your phone while you think you're charging it at these USB station. So the reason why I asked you about condoms, how did I phrase it? Do you remember?
You phrased it, Roxanne, you need to be using condoms when you do. No, you didn't even say when you do this. You just said you need to be using them or something like that.
There is something called a USB condom. Did you know this?
What?
No.
Yeah, there is a ZDNet, another good tech site. There's a ZDNet report over, this whole juice jacking. Now, that's the name. So juice jacking is when you think you're just innocuously and safely plugging your phone in via a USB cable into these public charging stations that you could get juice jacked. And they could introduce malware, spyware, and potentially take over your phone, steal your information, clean out your bank account.
Yeah, and you don't want viruses either. So a USB condom is a good way to describe it.
Well, there is something called a USB condom. So experts have come up with a USB condom. It's a dongle, of course it is. So you put your dongle in the condom, which can be plugged into public ports to add additional layer of protection. Well, they say like a condom. So, again, it's also not really known how wide the juice jacking issue is. But there is concern. So clearly it has been discovered.
Could it be urban legend more than it is something that's actually out there?
No, I think it's more than urban legend, but the question is how pervasive is it, is really how common is it? But there are, I guess, USB condoms that you could plug your USB cable into the so-called condom, which then filters out any of the potential juice jacking. So if you do use these public things, there's something called a USB condom. It can be plugged into the public port. It adds a layer of security.
Sort of like those things you can put your credit cards in that you can't steal them.
Oh, you mean like the RF protectors?
Yeah, like a credit card condom.
I would imagine it's something similar to that. Yeah, I guess the cybersecurity firm Reversing Labs, they mentioned that juice jacking goes far back, like to 2011.
Sure.
Yeah. So if you are using public juicing places for your phone, then I guess do a search for.
What if you have a really, really big charger?
Do a search for
really big phone.
USB.
Like a really, really big one.
Fester, why?
Did you use like the Magnum?
Fester, why do you have to?
You know,
I don't understand.
Why do you,
Perv it up.
why do you have to dirty this thing up?
Yeah.
Really?
We're just talking
or if
tech.
you have like a really, really small phone, you use like one of those little finger counters you put on your thumb.
A finger cut. It's a finger
Finger cut?
Finger cut.
I thought they were finger
Fester,
cuts.
why do you have to?
I need the smallest one possible.
Hey, which burger chain is now saying they're improving their burgers?
This is a strictly burger chain?
Yeah, give another hint.
Well, I mean, they do other things but burgers.
Yeah, there's a million burger places.
So, again...
Are they hiring at 5 guys? So that's going to be like 7 guys?
Let me give you another hint.
I guess.
In this campaign of improving all of their burgers, they are also going to bring back a beloved character.
Oh, is it Burger King?
No.
It's Taco Bell.
Hang on. That was supposed to be the buzzer.
Oh, wait. Taco Bell
You
is a
guessed
burger.
He's at a burger place and you guessed Taco Bell?
I was thinking of the Chihuahua dog.
All right. They're bringing back the Hamburglar.
Oh, McDonald's.
That's the noise the Hamburglar used to make.
I mean, theft is everywhere
Yeah.
these days. Of course, bring back a thief icon.
So here's the deal. It's been announced that McDonald's is going to improve all of their burgers. And McDonald's says that the hamburger, the cheeseburger, the double cheeseburger, the McDouble burger, and Big Mac will all be improved.
I like the McDouble.
Improvements include softer sandwich buns, which are toasted golden brown, perfectly melted cheese, and a juicier caramelized flavor from adding white onions to the patties while they're still cooking on the grill. So sort of infuse a little bit of the caramelized onion taste.
That'll change the whole burger.
Company said in an update that was shared with USA Today, the Big Macs will also be served with more sauce.
Yum.
Good.
Is that the special sauce?
Secret sauce.
Secrets, whatever they call
Special
it?
sauce? I don't know.
The Big Macs have changed over the years. They taste different now. I don't know.
Well, the fries taste different to me.
Fries are awesome.
Well, no, the fries, to me, McDonald's fries, I like them better, like going back to like the 70s and the 80s. And I think it might have been because they used beef fat in the oil. And then there was like a religious outcry that it was undisclosed.
It's not a vegetarian product anymore.
Yeah, but the beef fat, it just added more flavor to the fries.
Don't sleep on Wendy's fries. I ate Wendy's fries on Sunday, and I forgot how good those are.
Oh, the
my
sea salt
gosh.
ones?
You know, McDonald's fries are those quintessential classic fast food fries, but I'm telling you, I thought they were better years ago, and I think they changed the cooking process with different oil. I think that's what it comes down to. But, hey, listen, McDonald's says they're going to improve all of their burgers, and some West Coast cities will start getting the new burgers this week, and they'll be rolled out across the USA. Also, there'll be commercials featuring, I guess, their improved burgers, and the Hamburglar is back.
Dude, are you...
I'm curious as to what the 2023 incarnation of the Hamburglar is going to look like.
It's going to be more of a smash and grab burglar. Maybe like is he armed now?
They need the carjacking Hamburglar.
He's in
is
a
what they
car.
need. Yeah.
Of all the McDonald's characters, MJ, are you excited to see the Hamburglar again?
I always like the Hamburglar. I mean, who? You had the Grimace?
Grimace.
Grimace
You had
was
the
my
Hamburglar.
favorite.
Did they have a woman?
Oh, Mayor McCheese. Remember that?
Mayor McCheese has to come out with his anti-crime platform to fight the Hamburglar.
Yeah, Mayor McCheese. That'll bring them all back. I remember when I was a kid, used to collect those glasses.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know where they are. I don't know if my mom still has them, but I had to get all of the McDonald's actual glass drinking glasses.
Oh,
and
yeah.
each week they had like a different glass. And it was like Ronald McDonald, the Hamburglar, Mayor McCheese,
I was
the
watching
Grimace.
Storage Wars, and a guy found a box of
Oh,
those
really?
things. Yeah.
My God.
Classic McDonald glasses. I can get $25 for this.
Probably worth thousands now. Yeah, so the burger chain, they've introduced these new burgers in other countries, and then it'll start out next week in Los Angeles, Seattle, Portland, San Francisco, Sacramento, Phoenix, Las Vegas, Salt Lake City, Denver, Boise, Tucson, and surrounding. Well, how long is it going to take to get to Florida here? For crying out loud.
They're doing it like a Johnny Cash song. It's one city at a time.
Apparently so. Oh, there you have it. Anything else before we get out of here, guys?
I think that's it.
Yeah, again, I probably have 7 hours of additional material that we didn't get to today, so some of that'll be good for tomorrow. Otherwise, Fester, Roxanne, Froggy, speak now or forever hold your peace until at least 6 a.m. tomorrow morning.
Because of Grimace, I deliberately don't wear purple shirts. Just saying.
All right, folks, have a great day. Website is loaded. You got to see. First of all, we have the pizza video, the pizza guy attacking the fleeing car theft guy. It's great. MJMorningshow.com. It's MJMorningshow.com. Folks, have a fantastic day, and we'll see you back here tomorrow. If you want to email me, MJ at MJMorningshow.com, and let's be careful out there.